Yeah, it's rolling, so y'all.
All right, Shalom. First off, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushua Ba'ashem Rakakadash.
and double honors to the apostles and the elders of their new stone. All right, first off, we're here to prophesy, the downfall of Babylon and to wake up the elect, the hopeful elect of our people, which are the 12 tribes of Israel, which are Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, and Asher, and Issachar. Right, the 12 tribes of Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Right, we don't go by skin color, we read the spirit. You got it.
Yeah. This is James chapter 1, verse 22. It says, but be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only.
Right. Be ye doers of the word and not hearers only. The scriptures, mention that, our people are numbered, they can't be numbered. Right? There's that's the sand of the sea. So, you got these other camps that's out here. If this guy look white, well, he's an Edomite, automatically. Right? It's not about, skin color. It's about, the 12 tribes of Israel. They can look like anybody.
Yep.
That's why the scriptures speak of the spirit.
Right. Walk by the spirit and not by the flesh.
Yep, it says, but be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own self.
Right, deceiving your own selves. Just be a hearer. So the first thing, some of these camps come out with, they watch a video and they hear, okay, well, blacks and whites. So we're going to go out there. These people, they look white, they look black. Well, that's just how it is. No, you gotta hear and do it.
It says, but if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass.
That's anyone be a hearer of the word and not a doer. Because you got a Christian saying that you don't have to keep any parts of the law. But then you got Israelites saying, well, all you got to do is keep the law. It's a balance. Oh, somebody.
Y'all got a question?
Keep going.
Right, seem familiar.
Where y'all from?
Mexico.
Mexico. Okay. You see Issachar on there? What about with the white man picking your people?
Y'all speak English?
Poquito, right? All right. Silly doves. Little ones.
Yeah, they got they got the curse of the height.
I see this one little Mexican lady. Her goddamn daughter was taller than her, and the daughter was only 3 feet. I was like, God damn.
Oh yeah, that was she was probably about 6 or 7.
And she was tall as the mother. God damn. Go ahead, bro.
Just going into the law, you can also, anybody can get it. Matthew 5:17, right? You got these chicks out here that follow strictly, in the laws. The wicked scribes and Pharisees. They're back today, right? There's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah, Yahushua got on them, man.
Right. Because why? They kept going to strictly off of law.
What they were doing is they was adding to the law and making through things out of the law. And that's why Paul said where there's no sin, there's no transgression of the law. So like when Yahushua came out and he healed the blind man on the Sabbath day, they said this man doeth work on the Sabbath. When Yahushua was representing doing the works of his father, the work of his father surpassed the law. And that's what they wasn't getting. You know what's above the law? Yahweh. That's who's above the law. Yahweh can wipe the law away completely. And you still got to follow him. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys talking about the border of blue. We look down at the border of blue and it helps us remember to keep the laws. Come on, man. I don't need to look down at the border of the blue. It's just it's a custom of our heritage, of course. This is part of it. That is partially true, but it's above looking at the border of blue. It's called the law of faith.
I got something. This is Matthew 23:23. It says, "Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees."
I thought you were gonna start at 1.
Go ahead. It says, "Hypocrites," right? That's what they were. Hypocrites. They was using the law for their own benefits and stuff. It says, "For you pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law." It says, "Judgment, mercy, and faith."
Yeah, so he was explaining that if you walking and you're on the Sabbath and your brother's ox falleth, you don't leave the ox there and say, "Well, we in the Sabbath, we can't pick the ox up." You're supposed to still help your brother up, because what happens is it manifests as something cruel, and then all of a sudden you on the Sabbath day, your brother is in some form of accident, he fell down the steps, and you say, "It's the law, I gotta let you lay there until the sun go down."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to help him back up. Right. All right, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, so it says judgment, but that goes to that, what the order was going into. And it also goes into mercy, right? Having mercy. It says, "And faith." It says, "These ought you to have done, and not to leave the other undone."
The IUIC, right? They all about the law. Then they need to cut off the hot water heater. No hot water, no hot showers, none of that shit. Don't cut on the microwave either. Don't start your car. Just
you
sit.
ain't even supposed to go outside when it's the Sabbath.
Yeah, don't do anything. No kind of that work he's talking about is like actually, doing laborers work just for profit or gain. That's why you wasn't supposed to buy or sell, because then that leads to it.
There's a scripture in Leviticus 11 that talks about, like, if a fly, goes on your plate, you throw that whole plate away, even if it's gold, I believe. But,
a mouse too. If a mouse come in your house or get on your clothes, you're supposed to set your clothes on fire.
You got if a woman comes on her time of the month, you ain't even supposed to touch anything that she touched.
You ain't supposed to be under the roof with her.
Right.
So why you IUIC guys, when she get a menstrual, you supposed to leave the house or put her in a cardboard box out back.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
But hey, out here,
No,
even if that's not your wife, all these women out here got, be on that period, be touching your food, all that stuff. So we are living in a whole unclean society that we can't keep the laws in.
You guys ain't worried about the laws. You're using the laws as a tool for reputation to sound like you're a very intellectual in the scriptures. You're usury. Those are prime examples of them using the law to gain advantage. A filthy lucre, man.
Oh, I got more.
They supposed to be brothers at the Sabbath, right? Representing the Sabbath. Women coming in there with tight pants and tight dresses, showing their curves, big breasts bouncing everywhere and shit. Fixing your plate, the titties all in your, dangling in your plate, your tongue flying out your mouth. Yeah.
Unsanitary shit.
They sold
Hey, I saw GOCC. I was looking at that Passover. There was women with the tight dresses and butts out. They had cleavage and all that shit out, the nipples pointing out. I said, this is going on in the Passover? God damn, some damn accomplice. Yeah, they got all kinds of shit going on in those Passovers, man. So they ain't really following the laws like that, man. You follow the law, but the MOTP is here, but you don't believe in it. Like, go ahead, bro.
It says, Matthew 23 and 24, it says, "You blind God," right? It says, "with strain and a net." It says, "You blind God with strain and a net, and swallow a camel." That's spiritual in itself, man. It says you strain at a gnat. You know how small a gnat is.
You know, every little detail, right? You know, every single little detail.
It says you swallow a camel. Right?
You're fucking greedy. You know? That's why I was in Jeremiah called them greedy, dumb dogs and shit.
It says, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess.
Yeah, there's another one in there that says, woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, you as pretty as a sepulcher.
Yep,
you know what a
that's the next
sepulcher is. Oh, go ahead. Yep. Go ahead.
It says, 27th verse, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you are like unto whited sepulchres.
Right. Which a sepulcher is like a tube above ground.
Right.
That's pretty, like Yahweh was in. Go ahead.
It says, which indeed appear beautiful outward,
Right.
but are within full of dead men's bones and of all uncleanness.
Right. So you're fraudulent. You're on the outside as a beautiful person, but inside you're wicked and you're dead inside, man. You're evil. You're as of death.
Right.
Yeah. Even earlier in that, he said, you said as a proselyte to pass seeing man, but won't do anything to help him and shit, man. That's them going all the way flying over to Africa and shit, man. Right. So IUIC got to be those wicked Pharisees back.
You know, just wicked as hell. Demonic, vexing. You know, that's what the hell these camps are. You know, they're vexing. You know, you sit there, teach, you know, your whole audience nothing but lies, deceiving them. Right? But yet you get all these views with money, you know, your charters. Right? Y'all signed under this man that runs the society. Right? The men of God Confederacy. You know, as Obadiah verse 7 said. You know, you signed under these people that enslaved you. For what? Filthy lucre.
You know what scripture you'll read? Use the word. Don't abuse it. Use the world, but don't abuse the world. Man, you abusing the world, man. You ain't using the world, man. You know?
You lie to your people, you spread their lies. Yeah, the name Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, heals. You know? It's supposed to heal. Right. You know? You got people who use that name now, the demons too. You know, but we use that name in righteousness. Right. You know, to call out to the Lord. That's the very first commandment. You know, don't use the Lord's name in vain. You know, because when you use that name and you are a representation or ambassador of the Lord. You know, and you calling out to the Lord, He hears that. You know.
Right. And you got other camps that say, yeah. You got other camps that say you can call them, go play yoga.
Some of them are Jakes too.
Oh yeah,
Some of them Amish.
we sprinkled everywhere.
Yeah, we sprinkled everywhere.
Every nation.
I saw Jake, Amish, looked like a white boy in line. He had a big stereo system, cranking some hip hop, big ass speakers, and a wagon.
Right.
You know them Amish wagons? He had a stereo system in that bitch.
What the fuck?
I said, that's got to be an Amish Jake. And he was bobbing his head and shit with the music. Why with the horse and the cat? That shit was crazy, man.
That is crazy.
Because if my spirit, because I'm into that, so if my spirit was in that Amish body and I was over there, I'd do the same shit. Big ass 18s behind your head and shit. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I got something the scripture back here up on that. Just something quick. This is St. John 16:63. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. So even as you mentioned, we are sprinkled everywhere. We can't go based off of flesh because that's this whole point of this society, divide and conquer through skin color. We go by the spirit. We can pinpoint who's a Jacob, who's not. Sometimes question it, but the Lord reveals all things.
Yeah, a lot of those Filipinos and shit, I left a comment on there. And I said, y'all do, they was going back and forth about the flying over the Filipinos because they're more submissive women. I just said there's one black woman against the other black woman. It's just that they were brought up in a decent environment. I said, you know, the Filipinos, the lineage comes from black people. And everybody hitting likes on that. And they didn't understand it. But this devil through his sports media will have Manny Pacquiao and Floyd and making a clash when they're just Israelites. Their job is to keep us from knowing that we Israelites. That's why when you read Hosea 1, it says the children of Israel and children of Judah and children of Israel should come together. The northern tribe and the southern tribe will come together under the elect. I mean, as the elect.
Just like what they doing with Eminem.
Yeah.
Great white hope.
Yeah. But the Edomites don't know. And even some of the ones that support him, they jakes too. They just repping for that white skin. All right, go ahead, brother.
This is Proverbs 3 and 5. It says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding.
Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Right? You know, that's talking about not call them yoke-lay yogurt. You know, that's not signing your charters. You know, no, that is trusting, you know, the Lord, Yahweh by Shah, all your spirit. You know, that means you would do the best of your ability. That's what the Lord commanded.
Now, when there was provinces set up, we were set up to pay taxes, you know, but we were still allowed to practice our beliefs. Like we pay taxes now, you know, but the Lord has freed us from being having to, we don't have to pay taxes to the government for this truth, because it's not a law that we have to.
Right.
If it was a law and we had to, under like a province, you know, that was set up, that would be different. But if you don't have to, that's the first commandment. Remember, when you look on in history, you had a lot of Israelites that wanted kings. We don't need kings. You know, all we need is the Lord. That's our king. Yep.
I think he came up.
Came up here for us.
Nah,
Yeah, look familiar.
I always watch out.
Oh, okay.
I just brought my son.
All right. Try to raise them up. Keep them out of the streets.
And that TikTok.
And that, please do.
That's the best thing to do. The scripture says, train up your child in the way that he or she shall go. So this it's nothing for them out here.
Right.
It might look good, you know. Satan transferred himself to an angel of light. So all the stuff looks good. And really what they're doing to men with this feminism, they're really destroying us. You had little girls walking down the street holding signs saying, with boy, they had the name boy with an X in it. Cross out boy.
We'll repeat the scripture again. Proverbs 3 and 5. It says, trust in the Lord. Right? Are you familiar with the name of the Lord?
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah, his name is Yahweh.
All right. All right. You got it.
It says, with all thine heart, and lean not unto your own understanding.
With all thine heart. You know, this world is not teaching, you know, to trust in the Lord. They're teaching they must trust into Kanye or not now for money, right? Your LeBrons, your sports, you know, the sports books and stuff like that. You know, they funded, this place is funded in sports more than their military. Meanwhile, they got tanks that has written they/them on it.
It says, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path.
Right, he shall direct thy path. So, you know, you're raising up your children, you know, in a righteous path, right? You know, you gotta trust in the Lord, you know, because
I see you got some fringes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right, all right. Y'all gotta get the long ones though. Try to get the garments.
Yeah, I know.
I know. Well, it's a controversial because we go back and forth with different camps. Because, well, we technically teach the law is not going to really save you, but the faith will. Now, we're not saying do away with the law. That's very important, but it's about the faith. And garments, these garments, they're not going to save us. But the belief in the Lord will, because it's going to be a tribulation. Like with the mark, they're going to try to start implanting and all that. A lot of groups, they don't teach that either. That the reality is there's going to be a time of trouble coming here on this earth. And we will be involved in it. Somebody get that? Jacob's trouble? What is it? You always
Scriptures say that
Jeremiah
a
30.
prudent man looks well to his born.
Was it 37?
You know, so we look at the prophecies that are in the scriptures, and you know, we see these terrible things that are going to come, right? That a lot of people in the world aren't able to receive. You know, they can't receive the other Israelites. You know, because they're of the world too. Yeah. You know, those other Israelites. We see, for example, we went in a space.
Okay.
Why did that happen? You know, why is the racism and all that stuff going on? Why is there hatred? You know, what's going on? Why do we keep on getting gunned down in the streets and all that stuff? You know, and the dollar bill. Why? Or for example, back in your day, dollar bill, you go to the store, come out with, you get a lot of stuff, but now it ain't nothing. You know. So a lot of people aren't looking to their goings, and then too, if it was back then, it was so you know you could get more. Now you got to work more for it to happen. Right. You got to go do overtime and do all that stuff. You know,
keep up with the cost of living. It's not the product of the product of food and things going up. It's the value of the dollar going down, and there will be famines. And you want the Lord with you in that day of famine. You got some Israelites and other church Christian leaders saying all you got to do is follow the law. All you got to do is believe. Now it's bigger than that because it comes down to faith. Faith-based Israelites is what we are. It comes down to the faith all the way through. Now the Christian church will say, God done away with the laws. That's not true. The laws are still here. But then you got some Israelite groups that say, all you got to do is keep God's laws and you'll be fine. No. You're going to have to suffer like Yahushua did. There's going to be a suffering. Read that, Jeremiah 37.
All right. This is Jeremiah 30:7. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
read it again.
Oh,
Time of Jacob's trouble.
it says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it.
Right, that day is great. There's none like it. You know, that day is going to be a day that nobody has ever imagined. You know, in the worst ways possible.
Matthew 24, 12.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
That primarily goes down to when this place shuts down. Because that's ultimately the plan. When they shut down, they actually try to set up their agenda, what they actually trying to do. All hell's gonna break loose because this society, well, like every society, runs off of money. Right. When you crash the dollar, everything else crashes. So you had no way of actually buying yourself. So they coming up with the plan, which they are doing it now in other states, which is that the RFID, the microgreen. We can't say the actual full name of it because they like to flag our channel, but they trying to search you for something. That's the transponder of money.
Right. You know, I see The Purge. You know, that was just a commercialized movie. You know, it's going to be way worse. You know, another scripture that goes into that is Isaiah 13:10. Yep. You know, when it talks about the stars and constellations thereof shall not give their light.
And also got that one you quoted real quick, if I can.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 21. It says, for then shall be a great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be.
So yeah, there's going to be a time where it's going to be very troubled. And even the men of the Lord shall narrowly escape that. But you got Israelites that tell you that all you got to do is wear your fringes all over the place. And we say that it ain't really wise to wear your fringes everywhere. It just ain't, because you got to go to work. People target you, your children. Sure, we have faith. That's why we out here every day. And we have all kind of people looking at us. And guess plus our garments are long. Now Yahweh wore garments down to the foot. Now the Pharisees, what they did is they made up, they added things to the law and made it as they went along. And that's what a lot of people are doing. They're adding things to the law and making it as they want. They got fringes on cars now. That's not in the scriptures. You got people got fringes on their dogs. And that's why Yahweh said, in that day, many, it was in Matthew 7, in that day, many should say, Lord, Lord, I've called and I've prophesied. And he's going to say, I never knew you. Why? Because you didn't. Do you know how many people wore fringes in the ancient times that was wicked? Did you know Saul wore fringes? Right? Jehu the king?
Yeah.
Abimelech?
Yep.
Jonadab and everybody else. They all wore fringes. What's his name? The product that gave him up. Judas Iscariot. He went and hung himself. Guess what? He had fringes on hanging. Right? Go ahead. So what we're saying is nothing wrong with fringes. We wear them. But what we're saying is it's above the fringes. It's above the law. Because what's above the law is the Most High. Ahithophel. Yeah, he probably had his garment hanging. Absalom hanging from his bush. You know? We get into it with some of them guys about that. That it's not just a fashion statement. Go ahead.
This is James 2:6. Sorry, this is James 2:26. It says, "For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also."
Right. So if you tell your sons, like, look, I want this house clean when I get back, right? And they kind of clean the house, but they don't clean the house. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be like, you know, look, man, you ain't really cleaned this house. But if you come back, let's say you say, hey, I want you to clean the bathroom, and you go to the bathroom, clean the toilet, clean the sink is kind of clean, but then the tub is dirty. Well, you really ain't cleaned the whole bathroom. It's about works, but it's about faith. Wait, read that again.
This is James. Sorry. This is James 2:26. It says, "For as the body without the spirit is dead."
Yeah. So without the spirit, your body is dead. Go ahead.
So faith without works is dead also.
So it's really about the faith. All right, go ahead. Oh, y'all can go ahead. Go ahead. So the bottom line is the law is technically the law of the Bible. You know what's going to really save you? The first commandment. Loving the Lord with all your heart, and your soul, and your strength. Because I can clearly say, like, you get a woman can bring you flowers. She say, I love you. You're my greatest. And then when you come home from work tomorrow, there's another man in your bed. You be like, wait a minute, I cleaned the house. I gave you flowers. I gave you love. I even gave you love the night before. I did all these things. I'm talking about the woman. But then you come home, there's another man leaving your house. Did she truly love you? She did all the things you wanted her to do, but she still committed adultery on you. And that's what we did unto the Lord. That's why he punished us. We was all following the laws, so to speak. Then we start going off and making our own laws.
And gods. You know, half of the gods today in these religions made by us. That's true. You know, following unto Dagon, you know, Baal, you know, all these other gods, Quos or Qos. You know, this man had us build this society, you know, and build these statues, right? They're temples for gods that we created and the gods that they created, that they had us make. Ain't that super slavery? You know, got us worshiping gods of theirs and the ones that we created that when we sinned against the Lord.
You know, the white man, when he would have his children and we were lynching, they would bring his children. And they would watch us being lynched. You don't think they're going to have to pay for that? Of course they're going to pay for that.
got a scripture for that. This is Revelation 18:6. It says, the word learned even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled, filled to her double. Right. So we won't be doing all the wicked things they done to us, but they're gonna get paid back righteously. Right. Double that.
Like we're not going to be sodomizing their children.
Right. All the things that they were doing, to Israel, that was not slavery. That was forced. Stuff, cartoons, stuff like that, having to get rubber from trees, cutting off people's hands. Although that's just a little bit of it that was.
And feeding baby cicadas.
I was going to say that. That was the next thing on my
Right on that picture.
And then that's when you got to look at your child and say, damn, they could have did that to my child. Because there's a thing called reincarnation, right? And they could have did the same thing. It could have happened, And now this is why you want to, you want to save their souls. You want to save your soul. It's our job to save the elect soul. Hey, go ahead.
Yeah, this is First Peter, chapter 4, and 17. It says, "For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh?" It says,
Right. The judgment will begin at the house of Yahweh. Right. Everything is done righteously. The things that they've done, it's all good. It's not us. But then you got other camps that want to. They want to do it themselves. Right. Freedom fighters. You got a lot of those.
You got a black-only Israelites too.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, we had a real big debate with them. They tried to say that we're not supposed to have any graven images, when it really went into thou shalt not worship any graven images. So they had a problem with the picture of Yahweh.
Oh, okay.
But when you read in the book of Genesis, even in the law, you had engravers who engraved images, and it was righteous by the Lord.
Solomon, the temple, the house of the Lord, it was engraved, it was designed, things engraved in there.
Lion, angel,
and flowers, stuff like that, the Howard Shaw's favorite plant.
There wasn't nothing wrong with us referencing the sun or liking the sun. It was something wrong with us worshiping the sun. Because the sun, see, the Most High says he's jealous. We're not supposed to worship something that he created. That's like your child worshiping the next door neighbor because he played basketball. You'd be like, wait a minute, I'm your father. I know I have a problem with it. I don't know about y'all. You will automatically get jealous. Like, jealous is a natural thing.
The Lord is jealous. It's a jealous power.
Absolutely.
That's why the hell he's doing what he's doing. People coming out to reform. It's curses. Us having to live in this hell. It's all curses.
Yeah, what they're doing, they're feeding your children. They're feeding them the cartoons. And they're putting things in there. They're like the rated G is not even innocent anymore. Rated G is like rated X. They got subliminal messages in there. It's sick. And then when you go, you got to really teach your children, especially sons. Because I remember I took my son to school. And I was in the classroom reading, and all the girls was raising their hand and they were reading, and the teacher was ignoring the boys. No wonder they're out here shooting each other and not even believing in themselves. Squeegee kids and all that. Where's the mothers at? But if they become like LeBron, then the mother gonna swoop in and take the credit.
they get praised.
I was a good mother. You know what I'm saying? But if they thugs in the streets, they don't care.
Yeah. We're the fathers. That's when they
They
push
blame
it
the
on the
father
fathers.
for it. There has been mothers that actually did a pretty good damn job raising their sons. I'm old school. My mother whipped my ass with anything she could find. she'll pick that camera stand up. Oh, was she? Yeah. See, this generation ain't like that no more.
They say it's a crime to do that now.
And she could, she'll pick up that car and swing it at the tree branch and the switch. Wait till you get out the tub.
My grandmother would tell me on that switch. He's like, that's the first thing I get. Switch. I'm like, goddamn, I'm gonna do what the hell that looks like.
That switch is stink, boy. But you know that come from the Bible. The stripes and all that. You're supposed to get your ass. Did you know in the Bible it tells you how to raise your son?
Well, it say spanking on a blessing, right? And the Bible say you shouldn't like beat your kids like just
Like abuse them.
No, you're supposed to abuse him, but yeah, you're supposed to hit him with a stick. It says, you want to get it real quick?
Scared of rock.
No, not that in the pocket. It tells you, we're going to read that. Exactly. But you know, in this society, people become abusive and they go overboard with it. Then they picking up pool sticks and twisting them together, putting Vaseline on the end of them, hitting them with it. They don't say do all that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right? You know, Jake, because our people are wicked. So if you give them any leeway to do something, they're going to take it further than where it's supposed to go. They want to just solely torture that damn child.
Jake knew that, you know, in this world, you know, the scriptures say they added sin to sin. You know, so if they add sin to sin, they're going to add everything else to something else.
Right.
Yep, you got it.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes 30 and 9. It says, conquer thy child.
You only kind of go to one at the beginning.
Yep. Ecclesiastes 30 and 1, book of Sirach. Okay, in the Apocrypha, it says, he that loves his son causes him off to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end.
Right. That's the whole point of putting fear in them when they're young, because you're breaking it from, like if you took a bunch of daycare children and you let them eat cake and candies all day long, they're going to be spoiled. But spoiled, you'll see the woman, say you got a little girl, right? And you'll see the other mothers come by and say, oh, she's so spoiled. That is not a good thing to say. And then when you step in and say, no, you can't eat that every day. Then they cry, they have fits. That's what's going on with the black woman today. Yep. But you got to keep it.
It says, he that chastises his son shall have joy of him and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance. Right. He that teaches his son grieves the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him.
Yeah, that's why they see young men up here that grieve the enemy. You had young men right here that's been raised like him very young. That's grievous. And for them to start knowing the truth is grievous, because they want them like little Moochie grapes. They want them like young dog. You know what I'm saying? With the money and the rapping and all that. Go ahead.
It says, though his father died, yet he is as though he were not dead. For he has left one behind him that is like himself.
Right. Yep. So if the father passes, right, it's going to be as if he were, never to pass away, right? Because when you get the child, that water still stays within the household, and you remember that, you take hold on to it, right? You ought to keep that, the order.
It says, while he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him, and when he died, he was not sorrowful.
Right. Now, you are going to mourn, obviously, but it's not going to be just a constant sorrow.
Yeah, right? Because you're going to remember.
Right.
The son is going to remember. My dad used to tell me that. My dad, anybody who had a father in their life, or even your mother, that somebody passed on, you're going to remember the things she taught you, he or she. Like these wicked Jakes, the only thing that they were taught by was BET.
My brother, right? He got a different mother than me. We got the same father. He was the oldest son from that mother. So he saw certain things and mannerisms that my father would do. And he grew up thinking like, man, I hate my father. I don't like my father. Why he's so, rude and this, that, or whatever. I would never be like my father, right? Until he ended up growing up and started saying, I'm going through the same shit my father was going through.
Yeah, that's how I came up. I had a stepfather like that. I ain't really like, I used to think he was too strict. When I got older, because he died too, when I got older, I really appreciated me,
Yeah. My brother, he was like, you see my father dealing with all these women. He was like, I don't know how this fool can be doing that. Then he was like, then he ended up in a third marriage. And it was like, he's trying his best to love these women, and you go through the same shit,
Yeah, I was saying Yahweh Shai, the Heavenly Father, with Yahweh Shai, when he got,
Yeah, that was the reason why the one you call Jesus, Yahushua, got whipped, right? Everybody just think he came, he died for the nation of Israel, which he did. But the Lord had to set something in place for him that had to do something to accept that, because the Lord don't do anything to you without reason. The reason why Yahushua got those whippings is because he sinned in his past life as Solomon. We can show you that.
Yeah, I like that.
No, we do that.
Yeah. Let's go some reincarnation then. First Kings, where we at? First Kings. Let me get this first. You got some reincarnation?
Yeah. But
this is Hebrews 7 and 27. I started at 26. It says, for such an high priest became us, who is holy, harmless, undefiled, separated from sinners, and made higher than the heavens. It says, who needs not daily as those high priests, right, to offer up sacrifice. It says, first for his own sins. It says, and then for the people. For this he did once when he offered up himself. Let's talk about the Lord.
Let's say first for his own sin.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna show you his sin in his past life. I know it's in Kings. I'm gonna look it up. Did you find it?
The one in First Kings.
Yeah. We're looking at the 2 Samuel 7 and 10. Yeah, get that real quick. We're gonna give you 2 Samuel 7 and 10, and then somebody hold Matthew 22 and 41.
7 and 10, right?
Yeah, 7 and 10. Yeah. And then somebody hold John 9 and 1. We're gonna get John 9 and 1 after that. Go ahead.
This is 2 Samuel, chapter 7 and verse 10.
This is talking about Solomon. And somebody hold Matthew 1 and 1. There we go. Go ahead.
All right, it says, moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and will plant them that they may dwell in a place of their own, and move no more. Neither shall the children of wickedness afflict them anymore as before time.
Yeah, go ahead.
And since the time that I commanded judges to be over my people Israel, and have caused thee to rest from all thine enemies, also the Lord telleth thee that he will make thee an house.
Right. That was, going into, the book of Judges, all throughout the Bible, really. Israel kept going off, serving other gods, getting put into captivity. Then we cried unto the Lord, and then what? He gave us, judges, right? Which judged Israel for a certain amount of time until that judge was, time was up. And then what happened?
Yeah, there's a thing of being punished to the third and fourth generation.
Right.
You came back, like people who escaped some form of judgment, they came back judged. Oh, go ahead. I ain't been going.
That's it. That was pretty much it. Once the judge was over with, Israel just went back. It went back. Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord again. It just kept happening.
All right, go ahead.
Yep, it says, and when thy days be fulfilled, this is verse 12, and when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, meaning that he died. Right? It says, I will set up thy seed after thee.
That seed after thee is, David. Speaking of David, the seed after David was who? Solomon. Right? Go ahead.
Yeah. Which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. He shall build an house for my name.
Right.
And I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever.
Right.
It says,
that's coming. Go ahead.
It says, I will be his father.
Right.
And he shall be my son.
Now, this is the Lord was speaking with David. I shall be his father, and he shall be my son. Go ahead.
It says, if he commit iniquity.
If he commit iniquity, did not Solomon sin? When he messed around with all the women and sinned against the Lord, right? Go ahead.
Followed after their God.
It says, I will chastise him with the rod of men.
He said he would basically whip him with the rod of men. Go ahead.
And with the stripes of the children of men.
Right.
But my mercy shall not depart away from him.
Right.
As I took it from Saul.
Now the question is, did Solomon go off? Yes or no, right? Did he get punished? Because he died an old man. Right. There's no account where he got whipped for all that stuff he was doing. And we know the Lord is not a liar. Right? Somebody get Matthew 1:1 and we're going to really show you. Go ahead, Matthew 1:1.
This is Matthew 1:1. The book of the generation of Yahushua.
Say Yahushua, you know. Go ahead.
The son of David.
Wait a minute. Read that again.
The son of David.
Right.
The son of Abraham.
Right.
Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob.
Because he was also Isaac. Right. Because he was supposed. Go ahead, brother.
Oh yeah, the son. He was the son of Abraham. Like I said, he was the son of Abraham. Right. And he was the son of David.
The son of
David. When you look at Abraham's son, right? Yeah, Isaac, right? And when you go into that story of Abraham and Isaac, the Lord told Abraham to sacrifice Isaac, right? Well, when that's in the book of Genesis.
Go.
Yeah, we can get it for you, but Abraham was saying that the Lord was going to present the sacrifice, but he was saying that his son was the sacrifice, But the reason why Abraham didn't sacrifice Isaac is because it wasn't his time. You know what I'm saying? That's why he told him that the Lord ain't just. I mean, he can say sacrifice whoever he wants, but the reason why he said to sacrifice Isaac is because that's the Lord. It just wasn't his time to be sacrificed. It's a lamb.
And then we're gonna get to the nitty gritty to really prove. I mean, you can say, well, that's maybe this, maybe that, but we got one particular scripture that I had a debate with GLCC. That's what I was kind of doing that when I first came in, and I pulled that scripture, and he just scratched his head like, dang.
Hey, may I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what's crazy is let's go all the way back to Judah too.
Yeah.
Because Judah was gonna sacrifice himself for his brother Joseph.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? All right, go ahead, read that.
This is Romans 1:1. Paul, a servant of Yahushua, calling to be an apostle, separated unto the gospel of Yahweh, which he had promised thereafore by his prophets in the Holy Scriptures.
Where we at? Romans 1:1. That's not it. Yeah. Go to 3.
This verse 3. Concerning his son Yahushua, our Lord, which was made of the seed of David.
What?
Which was made of the seed of David.
How are you made of the seed of David? It was only 2 different times. Because Yahushua came out of Joseph. Right? So how was he made? And some people might say, well, his lineage goes back to then.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like when they said the house of David, I just think like his lineage goes back to.
Which is true.
Which is true. But that was actually talking about the seed of David. Right? Yeah, but we're going to really get to the nitty gritty. Yeah, that's what I was getting right there. He's got it already.
It This is Matthew chapter 22 and verse 41. It says, while the Pharisees were gathered together, I'm going to read it verbatim. Well, I can read it. It says, Yahushua asked them, saying, what think ye of Christ?
Now we're going to have to stop it and pause it so you can understand. All right? Go ahead.
Yeah, it says, saying, what think ye of Christ? Whose son is he? They say unto him, the son of David.
Well, wait a minute. I thought he was the son. He's number one, the son of the Most High. But he came through Joseph and Mary. So why are they saying the son of David? Go ahead.
Who's the son of David?
There you go.
It says, he saith unto them, how then doth David in spirit call him Lord, saying, the Lord said unto my Lord.
Now this is getting confusing. Right? Go ahead.
Yeah, it says, the Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou on my right hand till I make thy enemies thy footstool.
Now I'm gonna let y'all read it over. Y'all break it down. Because we went over this 100 times. Go ahead.
Yeah, it says, I'll start at 41. It says, while the Pharisees were gathered together, Yahushua asked them, saying, what think ye of Christ? Whose son is he?
Right. Now we gotta pause and break that part there. What's that?
Right. Whose son is he? You know, they talk. You know, he said again. He said, "Son of David." Right. You know, he came in again. You know, to the flesh. You know, born from David, and then again from Joseph. Right. You know, it's reincarnation. You know, different flesh. You know, fleshly fathers, but all together. Yahweh.
Reading on, it says, he saith unto them, how then doth David in spirit call him Lord?
Right. So you know what that's saying? How, like you and your son, right? It'll be like you calling him Lord. Because he was the anointed. He was chosen. Let's say he was the son of the Most High. He came through the flesh. So that's how you come in this realm. Like they talking about the Virgin Mary and all that. That go back to Babylon. Well, I can't. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, he had the same spirit. That was the same spirit. Same person.
So David was calling his own son Lord.
The same thing happened with Moses and Aaron. You know, Aaron called Moses Lord.
Yeah, Aaron was brother, right?
Yep. Moses was older brother.
So how's the older brother calling the younger brother Lord? Read that over again.
Yep. It says.
Sometimes you gotta read that one like 4 times. Yeah, go ahead.
It says, while the Pharisees were gathered together, Yahushua asked them, saying, what think ye of Christ? Whose son is he?
So now they would already know whose son he is. Now when you go further in the text, he asked Peter that. And everybody was saying, you're the son of David, you're this and that.
You know,
And right. But Peter said, you were the son of the Father, the Most High. And that's where Paul said, don't worry about endless genealogies, because it's about who you are now. And then that's why Peter got set up as the head of the church. Because of that. Right. Because everybody else was saying, you're the son of David, you're this, you're that. Yahushua did that on purpose. To trick them up.
Yahushua told them told the 12 who John the Baptist was in the reincarnation.
Yeah, I heard about that one too.
Yeah.
Say,
This is Elijah.
Right. They asked him. I think it's about when they asked John the Baptist, is he the Messiah? Something like that.
John the Baptist asked the Messiah whether he was the Messiah. John the Baptist asked the Messiah whether he was the Messiah. Okay.
And he said, I'm not worthy to fill those shoes.
Are you the one who we should be looking for? Right. That's who John the Baptist. He sent his disciples to ask that. Okay.
All right, go ahead. Yeah. Then we're going to get to the point. Somebody hold John 9:1 real quick. Go ahead.
Yeah, it says, you want?
No, keep reading.
All right. It says, while the Pharisees were gathered together, Yahushua asked them, saying, what think ye of Christ? Whose son is he?
Right.
They said unto him, the son of David.
So they already knew. They already knew. They knew about reincarnation. Go ahead. That's why when you hear the stories, when you read the Bible, he went and slept with his fathers. He went and slept with all the kings in the book of Kings. They all died and slept with their fathers. And then you will see generations later, they'll sin, like with Jeroboam, they will sin and keep sinning. Because the ones who died came back and started sinning again.
If I remember correctly, their sins was all doing the same thing as they did before.
They were doing all the same things.
So it's like, is it like say like Esau and Cain, like that?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Same spirit.
Like anybody, like let's say you was in Sodom and Gomorrah, right? And maybe you was indulging in that, but you were still of the elect. Guess what? You will be cleansed and purified in this lifetime and won't do that. You might even have thoughts of it, or might even try to dabble in it, but the elect will not do that anymore. But most of the people that was in Sodom and Gomorrah, they're going to be back here playing out their roles that they played in the ancient times. Everybody. Like you'll see a ice skater or a basketball player that was gladiators. Right. They all got like LeBron James and Steph Curry. They came out the womb wanting to play basketball. They just need their parents to help set them up to go down the path that they needed to go. You know, like when and these elites know this shit.
They know.
That's why when in school they have gym, and whoever is a good basketball player, they're gonna take to it. Like whatever your sons can be prophets, they're gonna take to whatever they was in the past life.
Yep. He's into it. Young guy.
Yep. Go ahead.
Yep. It says, they say unto him, the son of David.
Right.
He saith unto them, how then doth David in spirit call him Lord, saying, the Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou on my right hand till I make thine enemies thy footstool.
Yeah, the Lord said unto my Lord. You have the Lord said in Psalms, right? Yep, Psalms. You know, so down in this context, you have three powers. You have the Most High, you got Solomon, and you got David, right? They're all lords, but you have the Most High Lord, David, who set up. That's why when this earth is set up, it's going to be set up under the house of David, right? Because he said that in 2 Samuel, that our king shall be established, that his kingdom shall be established forever.
This is book of Psalm 110 and 1. It says, the Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool.
So Yahushua was only quoting a lot of the stuff he read was quoted from the Old Testament. You got people sit up there and say the New Testament is fake, it's false, it's made up, it's a fake Jesus. Well, wait a minute. If he was there to overtake the Most High, he wouldn't say that I'm not good, my Father only is good.
Or, they say he changed. Change your heart. Right before the New Testament, Malachi 3:6, it says, it says, for I am the Lord, I change not.
Yeah, what had to happen is mercy. Because at that time, we lost our identity, and when we came here, we needed mercy. Can you imagine if we didn't get mercy? We'd be dead. Like when Yahushua died for the children of Israel, that his blood that was sprinkled was to cover the Israelites, but starting with the elect. Can you imagine our sins that we did so much in the past life? We could never make that up. So Yahushua had to come and deliver us from that and give us mercy to wipe away those sins that we're still doing. Like the Most High requires blood. So you don't know what you did in your past life. Somebody get Ecclesiastes 1:9. We're going to show you.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to show you reincarnation even further and then hold John 9:1. Yeah, who got John 9:1? All right, let him get it. You got Ecclesiastes 1:9? Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes 1:9. And it says, the things that have been, it is that which shall be.
When you look up things, that's going to the people too. Go ahead.
It says, and that which is done is that which shall be done.
Right.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
Keep going.
All right. He says, is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new?
So even as you get old, if the world go on 10 years, you'll see styles come out and say, damn, when I was young, that shit was out too. Right? Like when I was younger, the woman with those tennis skirts, and you can see her ass hanging, you know, things hanging. They're gonna come back and do it. The spandexes ain't nothing new. The woman was trying to do that in the 70s when they was like working out.
Yeah,
We used to watch. We used
yeah.
to watch it on TV.
Different color yoga.
Yeah.
Whatever woman he saw, you know, the Philistine woman, you know, they're heathen, but she had to have worn something.
Look like
You
a female.
know, almost trying nothing, but he's like, I need that.
The fitting clothes. Because remember in the early 2000s, late 90s, they were baggy, yeah. But in the 80s, everybody was wearing big clothes. They changed up. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like with the pants that's hanging down, that go back in the 80s. That was to shame you, because they would cut the pants across the buttocks, so your top part of your butt can be hanging out. It's in the Bible.
Oh, when David in the service.
Yeah, you remember. All right, go ahead. I'll keep reading on it. That's one now. Go ahead. Shave half the beard.
It says, it has been already of old time,
Right.
which was before us.
You going?
There is no remembrance of former things.
So you're not remembering your. Why you say there's no remembrance of former things? That's talking about us.
Is it possible to remember something that, like, maybe say reincarnated? Like, it's impossible to remember something like before.
Right. Like if you ever listen to your son when it was like 1, 2, he's saying things, and you just don't write it off, and you just keep in your phone or read the newspaper, and he's saying things, and he's dealing with his past life, but then he doesn't remember after he's about 3 or 4. You ask him, remember that what you said? He'd be like, I don't remember that.
When I was young, my parents used to say I used to have conversations, you know, speak eloquent. But they just wrote it off, like, you know, go willing, you know, one of the elect.
Go ahead. There's more than that, I think.
Oh, yeah. It says,
Is that it?
now there's more. It says, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after.
Right. So you're not going to remember your future, your past or your future. Go ahead, John 9:1. We're going to show you real quick.
It's John 9:1. It says, and as Yahushua passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth.
So there's a man that was blind at birth. Go ahead.
And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?
Yeah, so they asked, who did sin, this man or his parents? So now you can say, well, maybe his parents did something, and then it sent the son to be cursed. But remember, you don't get the curse of your fathers, right?
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Yahushua knew that. Go ahead.
Yahushua answered, neither have this man sinned nor his parents,
Go ahead.
but that the works of Yahweh should be made manifest in him.
So the question is, why did they ask, why was this man that was born from birth was blind? If it had nothing to do with some other matter, let's say it was the parents that went off. That's a spiritual part of going into a form of reincarnation. But if it was from the parents, that wouldn't be reincarnation, but that'd still be a very spiritual thing. For you to do something wrong, but you're not going to get this. That's why it's the 3rd or 4th generation.
Right, I got it.
Because when you die, let's say you committed all these sins, the reason why your children don't get it, because when you come back, your ass got to get paid back for what you did. It ain't your children's fault for what you did. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, this is Ezekiel 18:20. It says, the soul that sinneth, it shall die. The son shall not bear the iniquity of the father, neither shall the father bear the iniquity of the son.
What was the scripture?
Ezekiel 18 and 20.
I was just reading that book.
Right. You know, you got people that come, again, people that come in, you know, just blind or you know, mentally deranged, deformed. You know, that's what. You know, that past life, they must have did something or said something. The more got them for it.
Now, when you go into the book of John, the reason why that was necessary, because we all represented that blind man, and we was healed, and now we have the sight to see. Remember, everything, all the miracles, the one you call Yahweh Shai did, was for spiritual matter. He always took stuff carnal and made it spiritual, like being the pool of Bethesda, where the lame would go jump in the water to get healed, right? That's why we don't need to jump in the water to get healed no more. You're being healed by the word of the Most High. You know? Go ahead. Matthew 11:11.
This is Matthew 11:11. It says, "Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women, there have not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he."
Right. Go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
Read it again.
Go to 13, please.
Go to 13 as well? Okay. All right, I'll read it real quick. It says, "Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women, there have not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he."
Right. No, that's pretty self-explanatory.
Right.
You
So,
got that John 9:1? No, I was just asking, you got that John 9:1?
Okay, got it. Yeah, but it says basically that verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women, there have not risen a greater than John the Baptist, which means that, as it says self-explanatory, there hasn't been anybody greater than John the Baptist. Right. So, of course, Yahweh Shah, but he set John the Baptist up for a particular reason that no one was greater than.
Right. You know, if the Lord wants to set you up on high, or even on low, or even mid, he's just going to do it.
Yep.
Right? There's no changing that.
I forgot what scripture it was, but it says he exalted who he will,
Right.
and a base who he wants, which a base, if I remember, means bring low.
Yeah, a base. Yep.
Yep.
Baptist was Elijah, right?
But
Elijah. No. Okay. And Elijah, he's the one that made the storm, fire come down on them. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That was great. I mean, that was great stuff.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Prayer of Hannah goes into that.
yep. It says,
The scriptures they say that Elijah must come
Oh,
restore all things. You know, one of the reasons why we came back to this knowledge of who we are, because we believe, you know, that there's been that man who passed away. His name is Abba Bivens. You know, Abba Bivens. Yeah, he helped with, you know, restoring back the order of us coming back to the Heavenly Father.
you know, we wanted to keep going with this one. But it says, notwithstanding that he is the least in the kingdom of heaven, is greater than he. So and that's why it says the least. What was it? I forgot what it was. It says the least shall be greater, and the greater shall be least. There's a reason for that as well, especially since we can't be high-minded. Because as I mentioned, the Lord is the one who exalts. If you try to exalt yourself, He will bring you low. So that's why He says, even for the least to the greatest, we all get the same reward. If we're all the elect, no one gets the better reward just because you're greater. No one gets the least reward because you're greater. Our reward is still the same all the way through. It says, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, until now, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence.
You know what that means? Can you repeat that again?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm at 12 now.
Well, I would ask y'all brothers, you know, what it means.
It says, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence.
What did that mean?
To the day now, people have suffered with violence.
Yeah.
Basically, we still under the curse, going through hell, right?
Pretty much same thing.
You just chopping it.
Yeah,
But the kingdom of heaven suffering violence, that's us.
Okay.
You know, that is the kingdom of heaven in itself where the Lord abides. That's not suffering violence.
Right.
You know, a lot of people in the church, they think that Lucifer, you know, Satan was fighting against the Lord. No, Satan ain't fighting against the Lord.
They have
You know?
some Power Ranger, Dragon Ball Z fight.
Yeah. You know how the Dragon Ball Z, they fighting to light you off.
But see, and it says,
I think he wanted to say. I think he wanted to say something.
Well, I know Satan cannot be.
Yeah. You can't. The word Satan means adversary. He created him. And the physical counterpart of Satan is Esau. You know?
These guys. The guys you see when that time.
This is loose.
Yep.
People keep thinking Jesus' wife is actually not.
Right. The thing is, when the Lord returns, they're going to actually try to fight the Lord. In the book of Revelation, if somebody can get that, Satan hit that. Yeah, Michael, the archangel.
Oh man.
Yeah, because it's going to be a fight in heaven. You know, that hasn't happened yet. You know, that's a future prophecy. You know, the word Lucifer means light bearer. And a lot of people, they look at these people, right, that they got the light. You know, some people don't even know that these people exist. You know, they're playing in the background, but their philosophies, all their different things, the way that they set things up is through wickedness. They have broken the code to realizing that you can pay for people to do stuff. Money is power. You know, and they realize that you can just pay for somebody to do something, and I can sit back and reap the benefits. You know, so that's what's going on. They a lot of our people have bought into that philosophy. You know, that's why they will go into their military, their police force, and all that stuff for the money. You know, money is power. You know? Money is power.
Yeah, that's what my cousin went over. He in the army. Yeah, I'm like, why you go over there, man? Like, cause I mean, I need, you know, they paying for it. He got a nice house. I'm like, all right, that's cool or whatever. But that's no good. I'll never go over there, man.
yeah, because the way the society works is you get benefits if you put your life on the line.
Right.
But you have to, but once your life is on the line, once you're gone, you don't have nothing to actually back it up for your next generation of children, for the children after them. So it's a one-time deal in this lifetime when it comes to wealth.
Going on. Yeah.
So, man.
All right, this is Revelation 12:7. It says, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels.
These other groups, what's the dragon? They're not going to understand, man. You know?
They going to get the giant.
Right.
Fresh out of the dungeon and melting.
You know what?
The dragon and Esau?
You want to get it? Malachi won in four.
Giant ass dragon on top of the building, mad at everybody.
The word dragon goes into the word draconian. Draconian, which like on like blood laws, right? You know, they make up laws as they go along.
That's why you got the rapper Tracy. Yeah, you know, okay. Dracula, you know, the vampire. Okay, yeah, you know, it's all
Draco, the gun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got that?
Yeah. I'm gonna start it. This is Malachi 1:1. It says the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. It says, I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord, yet I love Jacob.
What was Esau blessed with? The sword. With the sword. With the sword. But
it makes sense because when you go back to Cain, what it means by Cain is spirit, which means weapon, which means he was going up to the day blessed with the sword. And it says, and I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
Right there, it shows you when they were in the wilderness in those Caucasus mountains. You know, they ain't have no language, no culture, or anything. You know, and they made up stuff as they went along. When we look at TV shows and stuff like that, of that caveman walking with that club and banging that woman on top of the head, taking her to the back of the cave. That's easy, man. You know, that's the type of shit that they was doing, man.
Say it's so easy, even the caveman can do it.
Right, and the scripture says that they're more violent than the earth. You know, they go they did what they did to our people. You know, because that wasn't biblical. What they did, you know, that was torture. You know, they went so far beyond the Bible. The Bible talks about having a slave and what you can do with your slave and all that stuff.
Hanging, that was, but they, he's supposed to take the body down
before sunset.
Before sunset. But they
lead up.
But these people are supposed to be somebody that believe in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? They believe in they hold the Bible and all that stuff. I believe in God, you know. But you ain't doing nothing that's inside of it. No Edomite does anything that's inside of the Bible. You know, they might keep a beard, you know, but that's like the only thing that they do, you know. But it goes back to Cain, because what Cain didn't do, he didn't follow what was the correct order. He wanted to do what he wanted to do, you know. That's why I say that Esau is a profane person, because he's outside of the temple. He's outside of what a person is actually supposed to do. What they have done, not only to our people, but to the world. They messed the whole world up. But honestly, it's more important what they've done to the Lord's people. You know what I'm saying? Because they done changed who we are. You know, took away our nationality. You know, took us from our homeland, stole our land. You know, and then oppressing us every day. You know, you got it. You got that Malachi that was done on that, right?
Yeah,
Dragons of the wilderness.
Yeah,
right. Going on that Revelation.
Yeah. It says, and there was war in heaven, and Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels.
Fought with his angels. Fought with the dragon with his angels fought against Michael. You keep it that.
Yeah. It says, and there was war in heaven.
Michael. That's what happened, because when the Lord returns, he's coming back, and what they call UFOs. But he's coming with chariots. See how you got it? Right. The word UFO means unidentified flying object.
Which in reality, they are identified.
Yeah. The Bible identified it. You know?
Say like they will with the will, something like that.
Yeah, will, that's in Ezekiel, about the will. We're going on that?
Yeah. It says, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
Right. They got airplanes called Blue Angels. You know? And they be having, like, if it's a event or something like that, they're fly around. But there's going to be a war of you know, when the Lord returns, they're gonna try to shoot the Lord out of the sky. You know,
Look,
there's
man,
gonna be a fight.
There was a few instances, like I'm sure all of us seen, when I think it was in the Middle East somewhere, a chariot was flying by and they shot a missile at it, and it deflected it and shot it right back at it. That was like one of the funniest things I've seen, man. There was another instance when the Iranian military was shooting at it, and it was just darting all around,
Right.
making them look stupid.
Yeah, they gonna the Lord gonna put the spirit on them to fight.
Crazy,
They ain't gonna want. They're gonna be so scared. You know, they're gonna be shook, but they're gonna be in the spirit of fighting. And that's where you get the movie like Independence Day. You know, Independence Day and all that. You know, they was actually fighting. They get that from the Bible. You know, but this not no independence for them to be winning, because they're not gonna win. It's already written that they're gonna come down.
Well, it says,
Go ahead.
It says, and the dragon fought his angels and prevailed not. Neither.
Go ahead. No.
It says, neither was their place found any more in heaven.
Right. So right now you got what they call the global orbiting device, right? What they call God, right? God. East Obadiah 1. I will extend my.
They always say, "Who will bring you down to the ground?"
Yep, there's more on that.
I can continue on Malachi.
Yeah. No. You said you had a scripture.
No.
If there's more on that, if there's not more on that, you can get your scripture.
I didn't have to.
You got that the kingdom of heaven suffered violence. Because what's going to happen before the Lord comes?
I'm told in that.
The time of Jacob's trouble. It's going to be, as we read, a time like never before. You know, and we look at all the times that has happened in history. There's been a lot of tragic events, especially like say Civil War. Well, Civil War is going to come again. You know, World War III. You know, World War I and II has been. You know, and those when World War I and II happened, they used weapons of mass destruction. So this time it's going to be even more weapons of mass destruction. Yeah, and right now you have what they call an arms race, where all these nations are trying to get their military might up. You know, they try and get their weaponry up. You know, that's what that Cold War and all that stuff was about between America and Russia. You know, they trying to get their weaponry up.
You know, the Bible speaks about World War I and II.
Yeah, right. They say, behold, the second war is past.
Salam alaikum. That even describes, you know, when he had a vision, he saw, you know, the planes. You know, they said it was like unto flying scorpions. You know, the sounds of them like unto mines.
Right.
You know, that's you know.
They had the faces of men.
I think you know, the faces of a lion.
I didn't even see it.
You know, that also looked like.
You got to pay attention.
You know,
Okay.
Spray paint.
Oh, shoot.
You know how they had the sharks in the
Yeah, you don't want nobody behind.
Yeah.
That was just like,
That's for y'all see.
you know, they described it.
I'm so much into this.
You got it
I
up?
was looking at
Where we at with it?
Oh, okay.
Malachi 4 with this back there.
Yeah, you get back to your scripture that you had. You can add more now.
Right, I'm going to go back to verse 12. It says, and from the days of John the Baptist up until now, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence.
Right, yeah, because we talk about the Jacob's trouble. It's going to be famine, death, destruction. You know, it's going to be a lot of chaos out here. You know, they when they brought out this snake for you, you know, they said you had to get it. You know, the children and all that stuff. They even put it on there with making it mandatory now, like it's just regular. You know, but when that happened, that was like a psychological operation. You know, to get the people to think that to follow what they say. And if you don't follow what we say, you're gonna end up, getting kicked off the job, getting kicked off the grid, and all that stuff. You know, so you'll be looked at like they're gonna isolate, like a rebel. You know, so that's the violence that we suffer. You know, you got some of our people that's going when they make this rice grain, the digital documents mandatory, right? That's going in their eyes. That's going to separate who's who. You know, who's real and who's with us and who isn't. Some of our people are going to be, go right to them. You know, but when you look at our people, we're going to look at it like, man, these devils, what the fuck is they? You know, you keep trying to say we can't eat and all that stuff. They're going to be going in these stores, ransacking, stealing, and all that stuff. You know, that's why I say they're not going to regard the princes and all that stuff. A lot of people don't. if we're not, if our people, right, that don't know this truth, if they're not in subjection unto the Lord, it makes you think that they're gonna be in subjection to the white man. You know?
We got some actually.
But that's one of the things when our people were going into captivity, you had different nations that knew that. It's in the Bible where it said that these people are rebellious people.
Right.
You can't they're gonna revolt against you.
Yeah.
You know, I can get that, but go ahead.
Yep, this is Isaiah 42 and 22. It says, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses.
Right. So when you say when it says we've been robbed and spoiled, that's quite literally of anything. We've been robbed of our identity of who we actually are, to now we've been spoiled with technology, we've been spoiled with philosophy, we've been spoiled with being comfortable in the society or depending on it without actually knowing how to actually grow our own food, without actually knowing how to have our own clothes, make our own clothes. Right. We're actually more. We're the type of people that's actually known for being able to hold our own, be able to have our own currency. In this society, we're depending on this stuff.
Right.
But this is what it says that people are actually again.
Yeah. This is Isaiah 42 and 22. It says, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared and holes, and they are hid in prison houses.
And this goes back up to what the brother was saying. Like there's so many snares that you can find in the society. Like even when you look into the laws, why is there all these laws, but then you got loopholes in them where you got to go to court? Why is there you can do one simple thing wrong, you get fined for over $1,000 first, and you know you mean not that big of a deal. So we're in a society where they want to keep us oppressed. They want to keep us trapped in the slave mentality.
That's why they call it the projects, man.
Yep.
You know, they call it the projects for a reason.
You look at the project, you go from the projects to daycare to school to high school to even your court system to jobs. You look all around, you find all sorts of things. There's so many things wrong in that particular area.
I was talking to someone that's like a school teacher, and they were saying that the school system, they go by the numbers and stuff inside those school systems, and they know when a child isn't going to, do well and all that stuff, and they build these rooms inside of these prisons based off of the numbers inside the school system, man. You know. Hey, I got this right fast. Because I quoted it earlier.
Yeah.
This is Ezra, and it backs that up. Ezra 4 and 11. This is the copy of the letter that they sent onto him, even onto Artaxerxes, right, the king. This is during the time of our people when we was under the Medo-Persian captivity. It says, thy servants, the men on this side the river, and at such a time, it says, be it known unto the king that the Jews which came up from you to us are come unto Jerusalem, building the rebellious and the bad city, and have set up the walls thereof and joined the foundations. Be it known now unto the king that if this city be builded and the walls set up again, then will they not pay toll, tribute, and custom, and shalt thou then and damage the revenue of the king. And that's why when we wake up our people, right, we're taking them away from the philosophies of this world. You know, the Christmases, the Valentine's Day. You know, just knowing that you're an Israelite. You know, if every one of our people knew that there was an Israelite, right, and they kept the laws, for example, man, that whole pork industry will come crashing down.
Yes, sir.
And they don't want that because, for one, our people love that pork slab for some goddamn reason. Pork, shrimp, all that stuff.
Because the court system would fall. Because they make money off of us in jail.
Right. The hair industry. If our women wore the natural hair, Man, those stores will go. They make a killing off about one with that, man.
Facts.
You know?
Facts.
Funeral homes.
Malls.
Oh, like, keeping with society's riches is what actually gets you to live.
Right. It's going into what you was talking about. You know, they make money off of us in jail. You know, they already know what you're going to be. You know, by your school numbers.
Yes,
You know, they make. You know, these NFL players, they make them. You know them. These people, they sat there and told Michael Jordan, they own you. Right? They own you. They can make you. They can make you successful. They can make you poor. And they create you. They already showed that, you know, based on what you do on social media, they already got another variant of you. They got an AI of you. Because they know what the hell you do, who you are, what you would do.
Nice. And some people they show you in that TV series Black Mirror, man. You know, they got a lot of you know future plans of what they if technology kept on going, that's this is how it's gonna be. And one of the very first episodes on the Black Mirror was a freaking rice grain. It's you know the MOTV. That was the very first episode, man.
Nah.
You know?
Yes.
You got something?
Yeah. Basically going back to what you were saying about what's going to happen later on. This is Revelations 18:8. It says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day. Talking about this place. When it talks about that one day, it's not fully just talking about literally that one day. It's also talking about that day, that one day and age. It's talking about this age, the age of Babylon, basically. It says death and mourning and famine. And as you see, we seen a lot of famine. You see the process has been slow. It's been a lot of famine. As we are technically we've been in the famine technically since since the stock market crash. And they started thinking of the GMO stuff.
No, that the GMOs came back in about the mid '90s.
Okay,
Like '95.
right.
Then they start letting everybody know about 2000 that you wasn't eating real food.
Yeah.
Like when you go in the grocery store, it'll say non-GMO or organic. So if that is organic, what the heck is the other stuff?
There's a video of a farmer, like it's a jig farmer down south or something like that, and they were and these devils are real crafty, man. You know, but he was saying that they killing off his livestock. And he would call the police, and they wouldn't even answer.
Oh yeah, I just watched that.
Yeah.
I just watched that.
They kill, and then there's this company called Monsanto, right, where they'll spread their seeds over into other people's fields, and they'll say, "Look, man, you got our seeds growing into your stuff, man. We don't own your stuff, man." You know, so these devils are real crafty with how they do stuff,
You
man.
see, it's the funny part with the famine, as I mentioned, that was technically the start of the famine. That's just phase one of the famine.
Right.
You got there's no nutrition in today's food, so people start eating more of it, then spend on more of it. Then when the actual famine hits, people go on bonkers.
Especially for that Chick-fil-A, man. God, yeah, you ever watch about Chick-fil-A? God, damn. You think you're going into a circus?
They got when you in a park car,
They come out even richer. That salty ass shit, man. I was like, what the heck? Yeah, that shit salty, no nutritionary value.
Not at all.
It's because the woman don't cook. I don't think nobody cooks.
So now when you go into morning, where it says in morning, well, you backtrack when this whole virus hit. A lot of places shut down, a lot of stores shut down, businesses. People starting to go nuts behind it. They had to be stuck inside the house. What happens when the society actually crashes? There's no way to actually get money. People go on bonkers again. So what happens today, or a couple of years ago, is going to happen even worse than in the future. It says death. Last year it was nothing but killings, left and right. When this society crash, guess what? People are going to start murdering each other, doing cannibalism, you name it. That will actually be a thing. But see, the things that happened in the past, like in Egypt and Syria, Sodom and Gomorrah, it's happening today. It's going to happen 10 times worse than it did back then. That's why we read the scripture.
One word.
There's no new thing under the sun.
Yeah, because when a famine
One word.
comes, you know what a famine is, right? A besiege, like a city under siege, means to be cut off. When you go into the king of Syria, right? When the woman bore her son in the scriptures, they cut off the food. They did that in Jerusalem. Was it Masada or something like that? 66, 70 AD. They cut off the food. They stopped the food supply from coming in. Right?
It was a siege.
Whenever there's a siege, it's a makeshift famine, and that's what's going to happen again. This is why the food price is going up. They're shutting down plants. They're destroying crops. They're burning crops. They're creating. Whoever controls the food controls the resources, or resources control the food. Once you control the food, you control the people, because food is more precious, really, than anything.
You know what happened? They was selling bird dung. You know, we all know what dung is. They was selling that for soap.
Which means their money's not going to be what these people that's talking about, like that black woman that came by. I'm going to store up gold. You're going to be selling your gold for cow dung. You know, it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
When that food supply cut off, everything changes.
Sir.
Facts. Okay.
Yeah, they already hit me, but they charge a whole lot of fuck up here. I came over from PG County.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are kind of. Where you park?
All the way.
Oh
I
man.
walked all the way up here.
Oh, you don't know how much time you had on your
Nah, I put my card in, and I guess I just come back and pay it off.
Oh, okay. The spirit with you, brother.
There's nowhere to like.
Yeah, as soon as you find somewhere, like you can even park right here. Well, you put your hazard lights on, and when something like that open up, go over there. Or like this time of day, there's a spot just open up, but that's by the hydrant. Or you can park up the street, then the next block will walk down. You know.
I'll find something.
Okay. Yeah, but those sieges is when the food supply is cut. They're going to purposely cut the food supply.
Like a part of the ball. Nobody gets in, nobody gets out.
It's an apocalypse.
Yep, this is second Ezra. 16, chapter 16, I'll start at 1. It says, woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children.
Video again.
Yep, I'll start. It says, this is second Ezra, chapter 16, I'll start at 1. It says, woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up.
One's Babylon and one day.
That's crazy.
In real time.
Nice.
They're real time.
Always.
And they're also likened unto a hoe. A woman. But America takes on, all nations take on the adoption of Babylon. And the trade, import, export, that's going to Revelation 18. When the smoking of America is burnt, all the nations going to bewail because Babylon is being burnt up.
Yep, right. They feed off this place. You know, these other countries, you know, these heathens, you know, all the things we can move. They're leeches. They're really leeches that you know feed off this place. They're all attached to this place.
Yeah, America's like listen. That black woman, the big woman that was proud to be big.
Lizzo.
Lizzo. I don't know what her name is.
I don't know. Maybe it is.
Yeah, that's Babylon.
You said it.
Big overeating and took all the nutrients of the earth.
Damn.
And ate up every damn thing.
I bet they start using that for these big behemoths. They took all the nutrients from the earth. That's crazy.
That's what you call a leech right there.
That's crazy. I just start using that.
The woman is going to get in order in that day.
Facts. That's right, man.
Right.
That's right.
I ain't going to be walking around holding hands.
No, sir. No, sir.
That's right.
They walk by smiling too.
They know they did wrong.
Well, they still women. They see a man, they still get what? You know? They don't fucking beat it up, man.
That's why they buy the toys.
I remember being impossible car went into like a shoe city or something like that. He was like, hey, bro, you see how them? It was two studs in there. He was like, yeah, you see how they was looking at us? They seen us and was like, woo. They still women. They still into men. You can't get rid of that feeling, man.
Yes, sir.
As much as they want to try to deny it, you know.
The whole
still
point,
a natural attraction, man.
the whole point is flipping around to the other way is to do away with the male anatomy, right?
Right.
So why do you flip around the other way and then go on Amazon and order the male anatomy or eBay, wherever they get the shit from? The whole point is to represent not being with a man.
Right.
So why the hell do you got a fucking big black one hanging up on the back door? Or whatever the hell you got. 9-volt batteries and shit.
Yeah, they do that. They got to wire it up. Yeah. Yep.
Lithium
Lithium
battery.
battery.
Oh,
man.
Romans 1? Yeah. Oh, I know you have. I have more.
We go back to it.
Showed up in the case to die for that.
Woman. 1:26.
Yep.
Said Romans 1.
Oh, man.
Keep holding it.
This is
Who
Romans.
believes in the Bible? Who believes in Jesus?
I do.
Let's talk about him. Let's right up.
Oh, slide.
You don't believe in Jesus? Come on now. Oh. This is Romans 1:26. It says, for this cause Yahweh gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. Now let me tell you how phony that is. Like when you see black women with the white man and vice versa, they always holding hands. Or they online talking about how happy they are. Who the hell needs to advertise how happy they are if they already fucking happy? Thank you. Why would you need to hold hands? You're going home and lay together all damn night. I need to hold your hand too? Until they know that shit wrong. Go ahead.
It says, and likewise unto the men leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense.
Yeah, man, because this world, it puts people into a spirit that you can't naturally be who you are, man. You know? You have these people that be, you know, a nigga can wear a suit and tie. You know? That don't mean nothing just because you dressed up a certain way or you got a suit on, you hold the Bible or any of those things that you a genuine person, man. You know, there's a lot of false pretenses out here, man. You know, these men be trying to act like they're a certain type of guy to get these fucking women. You know, that's why you see the men walking with the strollers and shit. You know, he fucking mad. You don't really want to wear, you know, walk down the street with the stroller and shit. You know, that's how that brother say. They be walking with the one hand and shit. You know, with a bop. You know, they don't really want to do the shit, man. You know, but they don't got no control over anything, man. You know, but even as men when they're around other men, you know, you can't even give a person a compliment without somebody saying you dick riding or you know you doing no homo or some shit, man. You know, you can't even say those things, man.
In my day, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
No,
You remember that? I remember that.
yeah, but the Bible talks about, you know, when we read a man, was it Absalom was fair, you know, that was a man who wrote that, you know. But you trying to say, man, this is a handsome man. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying that. You know, you don't say no, you know, like, oh yeah, I'm trying to holler at him or anything like that. But that's just calling it what it is, man.
That's making the person think you want. To say something like that. Oh yeah, he's nice looking guy. No homo though. Man, get the hell out of here. You looking at that like that shit is homo. If you gotta say that, that's a damn problem.
Yeah. But there was men that was saying that this man was a handsome man.
They kiss each other on the cheeks, man.
But now you gotta say everybody ugly. You ugly ass nigga.
Facts. Look at that, man.
I just be ugly.
Yeah.
I don't want to look good to you, nigga. So if I'm an ugly ass nigga to you, then that must be some handsome ass niggas to you.
A woman ain't worried. First of all, women ain't worried about that shit. Y'all only work the initial process. But by the time you go to that next level, if you ain't doing it right, that shit don't mean shit. She be with the biggest, ugliest niggas and shit.
Facts.
And he be like, why is he with her?
Facts.
Oh, yeah, we know why they with him. They banging that thing up.
It's a lot of false pretenses. A lot of falsehoods, man.
Because women are carnal.
Yeah.
You can see an example. He had to pull away.
Yes.
Me and the brother was talking. Me and the brother was talking about it earlier, man.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
you see people talking about, oh yeah, this is my girlfriend.
Yeah.
A girlfriend and friends with benefits, a sex partner is the same goddamn.
Hello.
You know?
Hello.
Oh yeah.
You're like Hawaii, bro.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he damn sure do, don't he?
They like the brother.
But that term girlfriend is a fucking false pretense,
Yes,
man.
sir.
You know, because you got these people that be having sex raw, having children, living together.
There's no such thing there. It's all bullshit.
It's all bullshit.
Somebody
man.
hit their home 3 and 1 on that.
And then you don't even gotta you don't gotta be no fucking girl. This girl man to fucking hit. They give it out to little shit more down the street because you got green eyes and shit, man.
Blue eyes.
Shit, blue eyes.
Oh,
You know, it's a lot of falsehoods, man.
He never lied.
You know,
They never lied.
it's a lot of fucking,
Ain't never
there's a
lied.
lot of fucking falsehoods out here, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know,
Yes,
this
sir.
world don't allow. It don't. If you are a real man, masculine, just keep it raw.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Yes, sir.
they look at you like you fucked up.
Yeah.
But you telling it straight up, man.
Yep. Yep.
Like you can have LeBron James walk down the street and a woman, they say, it's all about love and respect. It is. Like, you're going to take your time with me.
Right.
Then LeBron's come out with his tight pants on, with his shit joint showing. We're going to go up in that apartment, bitch. And then she going to go and lay with him. You see that with Bathsheba. It took no time for her to lay with the king. Right? That's all that matters.
You're not lying.
That's all that matters.
That's right.
It matters what your status.
Mm-hmm.
And what you have, you can have that big old Taco Falls with them big glasses, that big 7'7" black African and shit. He get a goddamn NBA contract.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
He'll have two of them on the east side.
Facts.
He'll be standing with his hands on his hips. Still 7'7". Oh, damn, David ain't take that.
Right.
Look, Bathsheba, we gonna go out to dinner.
I gotta prove I'm a real man.
Yeah.
I gotta prove
Yeah, what's the other woman David was with? Saul's daughter. Abigail. No, Abigail.
Yeah, he's doing this
That
right.
was another woman.
No, that was another one, not Malcolm, but I'm talking about Abigail.
That's right.
Abigail was the wife of the rich man,
Yeah, the ball.
and he died.
Right.
And he walked up, he said, because she came up humble to him.
Yeah.
And he just took her ass. He's a king. Why did Solomon have all 700 wives, man? But the society will teach you, just be a good husband.
Yeah, yeah.
Go to work.
Yeah.
Get your briefcase.
Yeah.
And then she nailing your boss. I'm telling you, man, it's carnal.
Fact.
It's about what you got. You can be a bodybuilder with big ass muscles and shit.
Yeah.
Football player.
Yeah.
But guess what? The bodybuilders get divorced too.
They
The
sure
football players too.
They sure do.
Right? The rappers too. Master P.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
They only wanted them for the status. And then when their career is over, they on to the next move. Because it was all about the money.
Boom.
And that's why these women dress and behave the way they do.
Fact.
Because they feel somewhere along the line they're going to get money.
That's
They're
right.
going to get somebody rich.
Yeah.
They assume they're gonna get somebody wealthy.
They don't even understand. That rich man, like you said,
This
LeBron
shit,
James,
right? Fucking dents all in our ass.
LeBron James,
Fucking technology.
Use that bitch as a shield, man.
somebody with some type of status can just pop up and these women be ready to give it up to them.
Yes,
for
sir.
less, man.
Yes, sir.
Be ready to be a side
That's
chick
the
and
whole
all that.
point.
Yep.
Like if we was talking all this shit and them women walked by laughing, and then they found out that we were billionaires, they'd be like, oh, they'll stop real quick. It does make sense what you say. I am a behemoth.
He's not lying.
I am a demon. They would say that to the room.
You ain't never lie. You never lie.
That's why when we get into the kingdom of heaven, it ain't gonna matter, man. You're gonna be beautiful anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, we all got infirmities and sicknesses and other issues.
That's just ridiculous, man.
I mean, now, there's nothing wrong if you got cellulite and shit.
Yeah.
That happens. But you ain't gotta show it like that. Them tight ass pants and shit, man. Like the woman that really needs the size can't find it.
Right.
God damn, I thought.
You hear that? Did you hear that?
Oh shit. Yeah.
Oh shit. I said I'm there talking all that shit. You heard them walk by laughing and shit.
Yeah, they all did. Looking like that, man. Like, what the hell is that?
You look like a damn mess. And the only reason why you wear that shit because I'm thirsty sips.
Hell yeah, man.
They just won't stick that thing in anything.
Man, hell yeah.
They so low esteemed and shit
Facts.
that they'll just lay with you just so they can get some.
That's it.
And then they glorify, nothing wrong with a big girl, but dude, god damn, man, you gotta wear that shit.
Right.
I was sitting in the a business like a couple months ago. This big ass woman that needed 2 chairs for her to sit in. And then she had these big ass, super huge behemoth breasts. Then she leaned over and them things just flopped over and shit. I was like, what's the
sloppy
fuck is
shit,
gonna fall
man.
out of that shit? You can probably get a cell phone out of that shit.
Well, I like what some cities ain't going to go down to her knees.
And then she looks up to me and see if I'm looking at the shit, man. And then she try to tuck them back in and shit. Get the fuck out of here.
Whatever that was.
Then she picks them up and put them back in her purse. Go ahead, bro.
Whatever that was.
As soon as I said about the women wearing what they wear, we want to talk to them. They got offended. Why does the women get offended? Because she's spoiled. She don't want correction. She's not held accountable.
Okay.
It's because every simp will allow her to get away with it.
She knows she
She'll
did
go
wrong.
tell her boyfriends, those guys was talking shit on us. We don't say nothing to them.
Right.
Then they'll come in with 2 guns on their hips, you know,
Yeah.
ready to shoot up shit.
Yeah.
That's why I say don't mess with them damn women, man. Now, we said that the white woman, no problem.
Right. That's facts.
Tell a white woman that you're going to be a good concubine or servant. They're smiling.
Yes,
Tell a black woman, yeah, you're going to be a good wife and a servant to your husband.
That's the same white material, man.
Yeah.
You know, you had that word, white material. They're not white.
Let them go.
These bitches are harlots, man.
You know, in my day, they had a saying, you can't turn a hole into a house.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of false pretensions out there.
That's right.
You know?
Oh, get that table, bro.
That's right.
I'm going to with the brother top for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We always got to back it up with scripture.
Yes, sir.
This is Nahum 3:1.
Okay.
It says, woe to the bloody city.
I thought I saw an animal going down the street.
Yeah, like, goddamn, what the hell is that?
Pants the color of my animal's ass. I thought it was like here. Like I did. No, I ain't no deer that wide. From periphery, it was
More like a bison.
Ah!
You know the best part is when you see it from this side, it looks like a deer
That
that's
does, the
forward,
color.
but then goes up. Yeah, it's like a long ass neck. What the fuck is that?
Like a
They
show.
walk around looking like animals.
Yeah. Like, God.
But then they go and laugh at us.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Right.
What are you laughing at us for? This attire?
Right.
Look at the hell you wearing.
Exactly.
You can see the damn panties all up their ass. God damn, I hope you wiped your ass.
But a lot of them don't.
Well, be nice.
A lot of them
Peel
don't.
that shit off. I thought the underwear was white.
God,
Motherfucker got 2 toes.
God damn, man.
They just look like they grab on shit.
But it is true. You know, you get up in the dick, you feel that shit. And they young girls, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
They're youth, man. They're
Yes, sir.
20 like 20 years old.
Looking like she got a bulletproof
You know
vest
that
in the
fucking
thing. God damn, man.
That's when she gets old.
Ooh.
You know, you get older, you wear out. I
Right.
understand that.
Right.
But in your youth, you're 20,
You supposed to be.
and you can see the goddamn print from the front.
Right.
All that excess heat, that's gonna be a problem and shit. Oh man, when that famine comes, what you talking about? Go ahead and read that, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Excess meat.
That's a survival.
God damn.
They're gonna eat each other.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already doing it.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
They ain't eating, you know, the term eat ass. They really want to.
They freaks, man. All right, go ahead, read that.
Yeah, them girls in them schools, they be messing with each other.
Yes, it is.
This is they hope 3 and 1.
You hear about that lesbian? I mean, dang, you want to say that? She said she want to go back to men because they be stinking.
Oh yeah.
You see that?
Wow, I did not see that.
Yeah, a woman got on there. She said, "I'm through with women. For all that, I could be with a man."
That's
They
sad,
make it
man.
seem like we throw that PH violence on.
Right. Yeah.
How the hell is that?
You got women that can get BV, bacterial vaginosis, man, and that's they don't have to be having sex with other men.
Facts.
You know,
But you know, you
just have poor hygiene.
Yeah.
It's a bad environmental thing too.
Yeah,
Oh,
Diet. A lot of you, back in the ancient times, you didn't eat deodorant. You bathed in cinnamon, spices, and things like that. You can smell a woman off damn near a mile away.
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon is a powerful herb.
Yeah.
Body odor, everything.
Instead of a sweet smell, stink.
Yep, you had mint. Now they got peppermint. Peppermint is like a hybrid mint. It's much stronger. But you had mint, you had spices, and there's certain things that. But now everything's ready made. Go and CVS, get some deodorant.
Yeah.
You know, get that bath and body shit with all the alcohol and shit and chemicals in there.
Yeah.
You be putting
Yep.
Nice.
All right, go ahead, read that. I can cut you off.
This is they hope 3 and 1. It says, "Woe to the bloody city, and it's all full of lies and robbers."
This brother like to go into simulation. You go ahead.
Oh, no, you already brought it up. That's always
Simulation. Somebody look
Yeah.
at simulation.
because, like he was just now saying, they said full of lies, right? And like you said, like you can really get simulation. But a matrix, when you look at a matrix, it ain't real. When the relationships, I don't know why people keep talking about serious relationships in the society like this. What every time I see somebody get into a so-called relationship, that shit don't last. You'd be lucky it lasts a month. You know, it'd be lucky it'd be last 2
Did you
weeks.
see the story of Isaac? When Isaac went to Rebecca, got her off. She got off the horse, I believe, or whatever she got off of, and he took her to his mother's tent and laid with her. There wasn't no Barry White playing, no Keith Sweat for Boys to Men. You know, they had their fingers like this down on their knees with a bunch of candles. That's Masonic any damn way. When you burn all those candles to your woman, you burn it to the Queen of Heaven.
Yep, that's right. Come on.
You know, with the flowers and shit, that's all Queen of Heaven.
Yep.
And that's also when you get down on your knees and all that stuff. It's called that prostrate, I believe. Getting down on your knees and prostrate yourself, that's like bowing down to another god.
Well, your woman.
Saying that your woman is your god, but you getting down on
Well,
your knees.
when you first get down on your knees and ask for your hand in marriage, she likes it in her flesh because somebody is referencing me. But in the spirit, she doesn't like it because now my protector has gone from me. You know what I'm saying? When you bow down on your knees, you've now relinquished your power. Right?
Wow.
You're no longer, that's why it doesn't work.
Yeah, you never supposed to
You're supposed to be, baby, I want your hand in marriage. And they show those commercials.
Yeah.
And then he get the ring and a woman smiled, everybody stand up and clap. Get the hell out of here, man. She gonna run over his ass. That's all she's saying. I got one, Ma.
I got one. He's neutered.
Wow.
Yep, he gonna do everything I say.
That's hard.
So
That's
when he
hard.
does everything I
That's
say,
hard.
I can be at the gym banging Kipo.
That's hard.
Kipo the boxer.
That's hard though. That's
See,
hard.
when you're neutered like that, and they're in power and authority, they're gonna go with it because you're in control. You're taking care of them. She's in control, but she never can fully respect them. And she's gonna go to somebody that's gonna make her spirit right.
Ooh.
It's not the body. See, the flesh says one thing, but the spirit says something else. So that flesh says, yeah, I like this shit. But that spirit, we see that in Apocrypha when the scripture says when a woman maintaineth her husband, she's full of prudence and much reproach. These women cheat like that for a reason, but they all messed up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But go ahead, you got it, simulation?
Yeah. It says the act of process of simulating an object that is not genuine.
Right? It's not like honest. It's not honest. It's not real. You know, this world is not real. You know, everything in this place is, you know, it's not true. Artificial. Right? It's all artificial. Food, you know, your money, you know, the air itself, this isn't even real air. Right? You got places that got polluted air from these behemoths walking around.
You know, in the Bible, right? It talks about a spoil when it talks about a booty, right?
Yeah.
I did it in the video. Right?
Yes, you did. You better know. Yes, you did.
The booty, when it talks about a booty, that's representing the spoils. This represents women. This is why when you say I'm going to get some booty,
Go ahead, El.
you're going to get a spoil.
Go ahead, El.
They already messed
That's
up.
why pirates, they see that.
Ooh.
It's in the Bible. It says the word booty in the Bible. When he said divide up the booties, and I was talking about, I think it was one situation where they took 20,000 women that was virgins, and they called them booties. That's why you get that terminology. I'm getting some booty.
Some booty.
Well, those two on that end, because it really means your foundation. Go ahead.
Yeah, it says simulate. It says to give or assume the appearance or effect of often with the intent to deceive.
Right.
So a prime example of simulation is when you go to the grocery store, they'll say not artificially flavored. That's a prime example of that. It's a simulated flavor. Right. You know?
Right. So your relationship is simulated.
Yep.
Look, if the relationship real, it'll last. Now, old school, you had couples that lived and been together 40 years.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Although, you know, creeping out, there was a lot of creeping.
Yeah, it was a lot of creepy. Yeah. Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Yeah, you know that's what it was.
Yeah. But
I'm talking about the woman.
yeah.
I knew situations where the Jake had to mark his wife's tires because she was going somewhere. And shit.
Had to mark it. Got that.
That's what the game. I'm talking about women. Wow. That's hard.
Do you know when those men was going to work, some bored ass woman that was home and cooking?
Oh yeah, you know it. Famous.
Come on.
Is that what they call about the milkman?
The milkman, the
plumber,
postman,
the plumber.
the plumbing. With the plunger. He come on his back with a 5-foot plunger. And shit.
I didn't think you heard me. I kind of said that kind of quiet. Yeah, I didn't think you heard me.
Now you got boxes doing the box. The box in the box.
I'm here to unclog the pipe. So, Jeremiah 2:33.
Okay.
It says, why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. So there's a lot of things out here for people do to change who they are. It ain't nothing new, you know, to try to seek some type of love or acceptance from everybody. You know, everybody ain't meant to accept you. You know, If you're trying to seek acceptance from everybody, you got shit fucked up. You're supposed to try to, get an acceptance from the Lord. You know, right? You know, that's where the real acceptance comes in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The whole point is we joke a lot on certain things, but the whole point is if it was all built on corruption, then it's corrupt. You know, your relationship. We just had Valentine's Day.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And there was a brother telling me he was, I ain't gonna say his name, but he was with a woman. You know, you can play the angle. That Valentine's, you just play it. He's like, it's Valentine's. You only trying to do what you need to do. You know, you don't really got to be like, no. Okay. Just play the angle.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. That's what Paul did. He used guile. But then he said, oh, because he didn't buy the chocolates and shit, she just disappeared because she got opportunity to mess with other men. Right. Too many, which means the bottom line is, if you break up and she's going off with another man in a 2 days, she's been seeing that man.
It ain't just
when I was younger, I was in this relationship trying to love the girl.
There it is.
And we broke up and shit. 2 days later, she walking with another dude.
Right.
I'm like, how the hell did that happen? It wasn't even social media then.
Right.
They already know who they want.
Right.
They already had it set up.
Messing with them.
But then they tell us, you're wicked. You're a dog. No, you asked the dog. Wait, what? Remember I used to say, men are dogs, men are dogs. Because they were the dogs.
Right.
The shameless woman.
Right. You did.
Right now, the media, stuff like that. Right. We're using God.
Yep.
You know, we're using this man's, technology against him.
Go ahead. That's right.
Super guile.
You better, yeah. On steroids.
And he dialed Eve. He just locked up in it.
Another thing too, to back up that one scripture in the simulation thing.
What the fuck is that?
This is not a deception.
Did you see that?
Thing. What we're doing is not a deception. One of the things how you know somebody is real or not is through adversity. And we are, as brothers, we're supposed to be there for one another through adversity. But when these times come, the misfortunes that brothers may have, you want to know who real brothers are. You know what I'm saying? By when they actually are there, man. When adversity comes, you want to probably find that woman that you may be down with, she ain't gonna be there for you, man. She might with Job. When Job went through that adversity, right? The woman said, curse the Lord and die. And Job said, you sound like a foolish woman.
They don't say, but when Solomon died and all the fun was over, I wonder how many women was there beside him on that day.
That's me.
Right. When you start losing your power and shit.
That's all.
That's it. You'll know who. It's a rare thing because there's some sincere sisters.
Yeah.
But it's a rare thing, man. Even with brothers.
Yeah.
Even with. I'm just saying, there was men that we thought was our brothers.
Right.
Yes. And now they back celebrating Christmas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I came up under them. It's like, God damn. And I look on Facebook. I'm not even into social media.
Right.
But I see him on Facebook. He got to play the crabs and shit. I'm like, what the heck?
That's crazy.
But the Lord used him as a tool to help bring guide me.
You did that.
And then said, you know what? I don't need you no more. And that's what y'all got to fear.
Yeah.
That's what I got to fear.
Yeah. Yes, all. Yes,
you
sir.
can build up a whole camp.
Yes, sir.
There was what's that camp in Dallas? That whole camp was built up by this young Jake, man.
Okay.
And he was sharp. And it got built up, and the Lord got rid of it. Alex Jones, Element.
Yeah, bugged out.
He was bugged out. And he was sharp. What he used to do, he used to study 8 hours a day. I got word of that. Him and another brother from Chicago, Batat. This back in the day, they called him the Count Chocolate. Right? He's real dark. They called him Count Chocolate. And they used to get on the phone and study like 6-7 hours a day. And they were so sharp let's get a scripture on that real quick. John 16 and 13. So we kind of back it up with everything.
Yep.
Right? This is St. John 16 and 13.
Okay.
And it says, howbeit when he, the Spirit of truth, is come, He will guide you into all truth.
Yeah, he will guide you. Go to 12.
Well, okay.
And you can even go to the parable of the lamps. Was it Matthew 25?
Yeah.
When it talks about the trimming the lamps. And they had no more oil left. And they said, give us your oil because you burned it out. Go ahead.
It's verse 12. It says, I have yet many things to say unto you, but ye cannot bear them now.
So you got to get fed through the Lord. You can't feed yourself.
Right. That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
When you start overeating and you trying to overfeed yourself, you malnutrient your body. So you can't overly do it. You know what I'm saying? Without getting it thoroughly.
Pull it up.
Yeah, you're going to throw it up and all that. So he knew, he learned a lot, he knew a lot, but he went ahead of himself. Like we said, it's not a marathon.
It's not a sprint.
It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Yeah.
That's you said that.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Talk to him. That's right.
Hey, there you go.
That's right.
Shalom.
Shalom.
And this ain't no thing you just come in and just shoot straight up to the top.
Yeah, come on.
The Lord exalts you much. Are
You
y'all
better
Muslims?
talk. You better tell him.
Muslim?
Yeah.
I gotta ask you a question. What did Muhammad prophesy?
A lot of things. I don't know. It's a very general question.
The word prophesy means to say something before it happens.
Right.
Right? So when did he say,
He prophesies life after death,
okay,
the day of judgment.
what did the day of judgment look like?
It's described numerous ways in the Quran.
We can show you according to the Bible how the Israelites prophesied how the day of judgment, even the Lord himself, the one who they called Jesus, he prophesied of the day of judgment, right?
But you got to show us the day of
Yeah,
judgment.
you
in
got to
the
show
Quran.
us
I've never
that.
seen that.
What do we never
I'm
seen?
not standing on the corner preaching. You guys are.
Okay.
I know the Hebrew Israelites. I know you guys.
Yeah.
How about
You know what?
videos?
But we still say there's other Israelites that say you're not an Israelite. You can still be an Israelite, right? If you see, that's why a lot of y'all look like so-called Puerto
So
Rican.
we're from Egypt. So what are we, Hamites?
No, it's not where you're at. It's the spirit, right? Just because you in Egypt, we was in Egypt too, right? You know what I'm saying? That would be Mizraim. And that time of Egypt was conquered. Was it by Ottoman Turks? Yeah. The original Egyptians from Egypt is in Sudan right now.
Right.
They was pushed out. So the word Arab just means mixture. So it's a mixture of people. So when we speak of Hebrew Israelites, Deuteronomy 28:64 said we'd be scattered in all nations.
Right.
So that's why I look at some so-called Arabs, excuse the language, don't get offended.
No, that's what they're called.
That's what you're called.
Right.
But a lot of y'all, like if you look at him, they even look Puerto Rican.
Yeah, it got it does. It got it does.
He might be a Czech. He might be an Israelite.
No, I got some Sunnis in me.
Yeah.
I got some African in me.
Yeah, you
Sure.
probably do, but it's up to see to your father.
Yeah.
It's something. Go Romans 8:17.
Right.
It's a spiritual thing. Yes, sir. This is where a lot of Israelite groups get mad at us because they'll look at you and say, "Oh, you're an Egyptian." The ones that are not Israelites, guess what? They're going into slavery. And did you know those Arabs was the ones responsible for funding the slave trade?
Oh yeah.
They built it. They know it.
Afro Arabs, not just Arabs.
I know.
People from Zanzibar,
Yeah.
Kenya.
Yeah, they some of them were Arab based, like all Arabs.
Tipu Tep is the most prolific Afro-Arab slave trader. He was an African man.
Exactly. But there was different tribes in Africa.
Yeah. He used to go into the Congo
Exactly.
from Zanzibar to capture ivory, gold, and slaves.
Not all Arabs look like him. The Arabs were dark until a white man came and conquered, and that's why
They're still dark.
Complexion sound. Yeah, they're still dark. A lot still dark.
Yeah.
Right, but see, the problem is it ain't about skin color, but those Arabs, they had a hand in the slave trade. Afro-Arabs, but there was really different nations of Africans who sold Hebrews into slavery. Right. It was a tribal thing. It was never a color thing. Right? You had a dark nation. Like if you go into 7-Eleven, they're darker than you, or dark as him. And you say, hey, you a Negro. They'd be like, I ain't no damn Negro.
They didn't see color back then. It was tribe,
exactly.
Family, clan.
There you go. Right. And that's where a lot of Israelites today get it all screwed up. You got Israelites today that say all Africans are heathen, and that's not true. There's a lot of in the West Africa, and even in some in East Africa. Get that Romans 8:27.
You can't take everything for face value.
Hold on. This is Romans 8:27. It says, and he that searcheth the hearts knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit, because he maketh intercession.
So just because somebody looks a certain way, right? Just because we say we got this 12 tribe sign right here, right? That's just for the people that live here. But we read the elder quoted the scripture that our people would be scattered throughout the whole globe, right? So if I went into Egypt today, right, and I got with a so-called Egyptian woman, right, and that baby came out looking like, you know, a so-called, you know, white person, whoever lives there, that's still my baby. You know what I'm saying? That's still for my seed. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what that child looked like, but you can't. A lot of people would just look at that and just say, "Oh, that's a white man." Or look at you and
I can't see them being like no Arab.
You said what?
We're not white in Egypt.
Right. No, I'm
We
just
don't
saying that.
identify as white.
I know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying that that's how people look. They just look at it from the
Skin color.
Because the seed of the white man is there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You can look like his complexion. I don't want to say anything.
Yeah,
bad.
the Greeks,
But you can look like his complexion and be a white man.
came, the Turks came.
Talking, Elder. Let's go.
You can look like him and be a white man.
Let's go.
Because it's come from the Caucasus Sea.
Yes, sir.
Right? Yeah. Because the so-called white man come from Petra of Edom, the mountains.
Caucasus Mountains.
Caucasus. Well, before
Southern Russia,
Caucasus.
Central Asia.
Yeah, but before Caucasus, it was Petra. Petra, Edom.
Yes,
Right. That's why when you look at the downtown or it got the Romans, they were Edomites. They all got the same symbols, right?
Yep. That's why when we go into like Muslim ideology, right? Who is the so-called white man? According to you said it's all tribes, right? Well, what tribe is the so-called white man?
That's what I'm saying, so-called.
Yeah.
White is a modern construct.
Exactly. It's not
go
right.
to the 1800s, Italians, right now we call an Italian, a German, and an Irish guy all white. The 1800s, they are not considering themselves the same people at all. An Italian doesn't look at an Irish man and think they're the same people.
Right.
They are totally different.
We can agree. Right. Well,
That's in Georgia.
The Bible says that the very first so-called white person is Esau, Jacob's brother.
We say so-called because it's red.
Yeah, so you know Abraham had Isaac and Ishmael, right? But then it goes on to Isaac had.
Well, Israel is Jacob, right?
Yeah, Jacob.
And
Esau is Edom.
Jacob is the son of Isaac.
Right.
Ishmael's the brother of Isaac.
Right.
Where the Arab 12 tribes of the Arabs come from.
Right. But did the Arabs get a blessing?
There's the case.
They did. Through the
They
prophet.
did. They got a what blessing did they
Because
get?
you guys rejected your Messiah.
No. Well,
You tried to kill your Messiah, and
Not
God,
everyone.
God
Not
fulfilled
all
his
of them. Not
God
all of them.
fulfilled his covenant with Abraham through his banished son.
Where's that? You gotta show us
You can
that in
see
the
it. That's the history.
What if we show it to you?
We have a real prophet that came out of Arabia.
Okay, what if we
with,
show
with
it
a
to you?
scripture that we have today, and it's revealed in its modern, in its original language. There's no other scripture in the world like that.
Now you're saying that the children of Israel killed their Messiah.
They tried to kill
They
him.
tried to kill him. Well, they had him
They
killed.
rejected him.
They had him killed. The white man actually killed him.
No one knows what happened to him.
Yeah,
But
the
they
scripture
rejected
said. We always rejected our father.
Yeah.
The Israelites kept
That's
going
why you
against
guys
God.
got banished.
But
No, we
they
never
always-
got banished. Get Romans
You
11.
just said you're
God
going
cast away his peace.
to scatter across the globe.
Yeah, exactly. But
That's
guess
what
what? Guess what? We're going to show you. Romans 11 and 8.
Because that's not the first time that our people been killed the prophets. They
Of
killed,
course.
and that's not the first time that they got banished.
They sawed the head off John the Baptist.
Right.
They decapitated him.
But that was a white. That was a Rhodian. Yeah. But the children of Israel always killed the prophet.
Of course.
You know.
I know.
So it wasn't that's because they killed the Messiah that the Lord just cast away his people. That's not what
No,
happened.
I'm not saying he cast away his people. I'm saying he gave the final message to Abraham's other seed. It's from the Arabs.
No, he didn't.
No,
He never
that's
came
not-
to
that's not-
Abraham of a seed. That's not
So
in the scripture.
explain the prophet Muhammad.
That's
How
why
do
we
you
trying to
have a
ask you
prophet who walked almost identically in the
So
footsteps
you're
of
saying-
Moses with a revealed scripture that we
Okay.
have today in its original form.
Right, but you're saying that
Explain it.
since the God of the Israelites went against God, that he gave the covenant to Ishmael?
He fulfilled the covenant that he made with Abraham through his other seed, Ishmael.
It doesn't say that in the Bible.
The covenant,
Get that Genesis 17:17.
the covenant
Read
that he
that
made
real
with
quick.
Ishmael was the circumcision. Right.
No, he made
And
it
he
with,
gave
I'm talking
him-
about
he
the
gave him
covenant
the 12
with Abraham.
He gave him the princes. He gave him a blessing. He did give Ishmael a blessing. Read that real quick.
This is Romans
This
11.
is what Paul was doing. He was going back to get the castaway of the children of Israel.
Go ahead. Romans 11:1. It says, I say then, if God cast away his people, God forbid. But I also am an Israelite
Right.
of the seed of Abraham,
Yep.
of the tribe of Benjamin.
Right. So it's the Israelites. Get that Genesis 17:17 real quick.
This is Genesis
And this is
17,
going to go into
17.
Ishmael. Go ahead.
It says, then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed, and said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah, that is 90 years old, bear? And Abraham said unto God, oh, that Ishmael might live for 20. And God said, Sarah, thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant.
Go ahead.
And with his seed after.
Go ahead.
And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee before, so I can behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly.
Now, he got blessed. Ishmael did get blessed, but his covenant was established with the children of Israel. Right. We're going to go to Genesis 12:3 real quick. When they talk about through Abraham's seed, so all the families of earth be blessed. That's what you're talking about. Go ahead, read that real quick.
Genesis 12:3.
Yep.
This is Genesis 12:3. It says, and I will bless them that bless me, and curse them that curse me. And indeed shall all the families of the earth be blessed.
Right. So a lot of Christians think that's talking about everybody, right? That was still talking about out of Abraham's seed, but going to Isaac and then going to Jacob. In Matthew 22:32 real quick. We're going to show you that too. Now, somebody hold Acts 3:25. I got it. Get that real quick. Get in the blue letter. So it's got to be broken down, back and forth. Get that. 22:32. Go ahead.
Matthew 22:32. It says, this is a real letter. I am the God of Abraham,
Right.
and the God of Isaac,
Right.
and the God of Jacob.
Go ahead.
God is not the God of the dead, but of the living.
What happened to the God of Ishmael?
I don't know who wrote that. Who wrote the book of Matthew? The Gospel of Matthew. Who wrote it?
Matthew,
One of the prophets.
Who?
one of the disciples, one of the apostles.
Who?
Matthew,
One
it
of
just said it.
the men that were eyewitnesses of the Lord when he came on.
Some of them were young men.
No biblical scholar is going to say that is written by Matthew. That's written by maybe the disciple of the disciple of the disciple of Matthew.
But is it all ordained by the Heavenly Father, no matter who it's written by? Get Acts 3:25. Read that real
We
quick.
have the Quran. I don't need a book from.
You know what the word Quran
No one
means?
knows where it came from.
You know what the word Quran means?
Of course. Narration.
Huh?
Narration.
It really means to recite. Go
It
ahead.
means narration.
This is Acts.
Okay. That was many different books of the Quran, though.
No, there's one Quran.
Yeah, but it's so many different translations.
No, there's one translation.
No, there isn't.
The Quran is in Arabic.
I
Anything
understand that.
anything else is a transliteration or a translation of the Quran. It's not the Quran.
It's different translations.
The Quran is
like
only
the
in
Bible
Arabic.
had different transliterations. But a transliteration can throw off the actual by one word.
Right, because Jesus is in the Quran, right?
Of course.
Who wrote that?
The children of Israel is in the Quran. The book of
Right.
Cal.
Yeah.
The book of Cal
The Gospels are
123.
written from a third person perspective. You very rarely hear
See, now you
Jesus'
get
words in the Quran, in the Gospels. You never hear him speaking
Right.
authoritatively in the Gospels. You hear people saying he said this or he said that.
Right.
Why are we not hearing the actual words of Jesus directly? And actually, one of the Gospels, it's either Mark or Matthew, very early on, it says, people saw Jesus speaking, and he was speaking as one who had authority.
Right.
I don't want to hear someone talking about them seeing Jesus speaking. What was he speaking?
He was speaking.
He was speaking the real gospel, the
He
one
was
that's
speaking
lost.
what he spoke, because nobody really, like, God doesn't come down here and write anything down either, right? Somebody writes down what God
Why
says.
did somebody not record what that person saw Jesus
So
say?
why did somebody
they just
record
say
what
they saw
God
him
says?
speaking?
Didn't they have to record what God said?
We have
God,
that. It's the Quran.
Right, but did they stand before God and they write what God said to them personally? No, you didn't even see God. So how can we prove that?
The Quran says that's why it was revealed in Arabic, so that we can remember and preserve it.
But that's why the scripture says to the law and to the testimony, if they speak
gonna
not,
read it. Okay, go ahead.
if they speak not according to this word, there is no light in them. Okay, all those precepts when they were saying that the Lord said this, because this.
First of all, he was a king of the Jews. A king of the Jews ain't gotta write down nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not talking about writing down anything.
He had somebody write
Why
down.
was his gospel not preserved?
It was.
Where? I can barely.
It's in here. Everything is in here. Somebody wrote down what he said.
Wrote what the stories that they heard of
When
it.
you go to court, right? There's somebody when you're speaking.
I want to know what he said.
Somebody typing.
Not what somebody 100 years later thought he said or heard he said. I want to know the exact words.
Revelation 1.
See, that's where you get confused at, because even in the Bible it says, even in red letters, that's what he's saying. Really, that's why when I said earlier, when I said this is the red letter, that's him actually speaking.
Right, of course. There are areas in the Gospels where it's Jesus' direct words, but the majority of the Gospel is not red letter. The vast majority of it.
Because you got witnesses, you got people that's reporters. Even I'm gonna read the scripture for you real quick. This is Revelations 1:1. It says the revelation of Jesus Christ.
Revelations is not the word of Jesus. Revelations was written 100 years after.
You gotta let us finish. You gotta let us finish.
It says, which God gave unto him to shew unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John, who bear record of the word of God and of the testimony of Jesus Christ and of all things that he saw.
Right. So here go the thing, right? If LeBron James, he broke the record, right? Did LeBron James write down every basket that he scored? No, he had somebody else that wrote it down. And you would believe that LeBron James broke that record because somebody else broke it down. Just because LeBron James didn't write it down don't mean that it's not.
So did Muhammad write all this stuff down from his own mouth?
He spoke it. That's why it's the narration.
Right, but who wrote it? Who wrote it?
It was memorized by thousands of people before it was
If
ever
it's
written.
memorized by thousands of people, somebody goes
9-year-olds.
That's the
today,
problem.
And 6-year-olds who memorized the whole book. Explain
Come
it.
on, man. Somebody had to write it down,
Name
though.
one book in existence that can be memorized front to back by a 6-year-old.
Okay.
And the Quran says why it was revealed in
hold on.
Arabic, so that it can be remembered and preserved.
So somebody eventually wrote it down, though, right?
It doesn't need to be written down.
But somebody
The
did.
Quran
So why are you walking with a Quran?
Is the narration. That's why it's literally called the narration.
Okay, it's
It
a
doesn't need to be
narration,
written down.
but somebody had to write those words in that Quran.
I can recite part of the
That's
Quran
what
right now.
Quran
I don't have a
means,
book in
recite.
my hand. Can you recite a large section of the gospel without the book in your hand?
Of course, we know the Bible.
The Bible says that the Lord said that the
If you
kingdom
can
of
do that,
heaven
I'll
is
give you $100 right now. Add it top of your head.
Can you recite the whole
pages,
Quran?
3 pages of any gospel straight, word for word. I'll give you $100.
You know why we can't do that? Get Isaiah 28:9. That's the Quran right there. So we're gonna show you why. We're gonna show you why.
We're not
Isaiah 28:9.
Go ahead.
It says, whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine?
Right.
Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little.
So you can go in the book of Hebrews 10:6 or 10:6, and it'll say everywhere that God is pure or whatever. Then you go to the book of Psalm, and it'll say the same thing, because it's a book that's brought together with the different passages. That's broken. It's broken. So it's not like you can read it like a big story. That's why you wouldn't
Why
read
would
it like
I choose that over a book that is such a tight-knit composition revealed in its original language that we have today.
Right.
Why?
But this
it wasn't pieced together at all. It one source.
But what is the end game for the Quran? What is it telling our people to do? What is it telling about
worship God?
Hold on. What is it telling
it
the
warns
people?
about the day of resurrection.
Right. But what about the hell that's coming here on earth? Is it talking about that? Because a lot of the Quran is written off of the Roman Catholic Church.
Oh,
y'all have the beads.
No.
Y'all have the beads. Yes, you do.
Like Jehovah's Witness.
No, y'all have the beads.
I believe in the God of Abraham. You guys believe in the God of Abraham.
Yeah, with the God of Abraham,
leave it at that.
He's the God of the Israelites.
right.
I believe in the God of Abraham. I don't think I'm not gonna say I'm a Christian. I'm not a Jew.
Right.
The Quran says you guys are gonna try and say be a Christian, be a Jew, so that you're rightly guided. I believe in the God of Abraham.
We're not trying to tell you to do that.
Yeah, that's it.
But Ishmael,
that.
the bottom line is Ishmael did not get the blessing, and that's what the Bible says. And then you got to prove to us, when did Ishmael get a blessing?
And somebody
needs
to explain to me the Quran. Explain it.
Ain't no how
did it come
That's
to
why
be?
we're trying to tell you.
One, I told you, give me one page.
No, we're trying to ask you.
Page
Okay,
that you can speak. No, that you can memorize. Front to
It's
back.
broken. We
Even
just
if
said
it's in
that.
English, you can't speak it in the Koine Greek. You can't speak it in
It's-
Aramaic. I'm
okay.
talking about this is in the original revealed language. 6-year-olds memorize it from front to back. I'm asking
Show
you
me
for
a
one
6-year-old
page.
that can remember the Quran front to back.
You want me to call up my cousin
You know,
right now? Like,
how many pages in the Quran? You don't even know. Come on now.
that's
How you
that's
supposed to
totally
know that?
arbitrary. It depends on the size of the
No,
font.
see, there
That's
we
the
go.
thing.
I
The
thought it was
Quran
all
is
one
the
book.
The Quran is the narration. The Quran is the word.
But you just
The
mixed it.
Kitab,
The Quran.
the Kitab is the written account of the Quran, the written reporting of the Quran.
So show us where there's a savior going to come back and deliver you because you follow Quran.
This is where it's
You
at.
got to show me that in the Quran. Since you can recite it, recite to me a page out of there that says Muhammad is coming back to save
The
and
Quran
redeem his
doesn't
people.
say that.
Oh, well, that's not no good then.
Muslims believe Jesus is coming back.
Oh, they do?
Yes.
Oh, just like the Roman Catholic
You
Church.
don't know that?
We know that's why we out here prophesying.
We know Jesus is coming back.
That's a prophecy. That's why I asked you, where did Muhammad? What is the signs of his coming? If he's coming back, what are the signs of his
The
coming?
Prophet Muhammad is dead. He's not coming back. We have his Quran.
No, I'm not talking about Muhammad. I'm talking about the signs of Jesus coming back. What are the signs of him coming back? Did somebody get Matthew 24?
But see,
I got it.
he
Why
just said
does
you're
this
supposed to be
matter
able
to me?
recite the
Why
whole
does this
book.
matter to me? All I
He
care
can.
about is that I believe in the God of Abraham. I pray. I give charity. I die.
But
And
you don't
I'm going to
believe
be
in the God
judged
of
according
Isaac
to my
and
accounts
Jacob?
on earth.
He didn't say he was
Why
just.
do I need anything else?
Hold on, he didn't say he was just the God of Abraham. You know that, right? He's not just the God of Abraham, right?
He's certainly the God of Abraham.
He's
the
not
God
just
of all,
he's not
of all
just the God.
existence.
He's not just the God of Abraham.
He's the God of all existence. I'm
Matthew
talking
22,
about
32.
the God that Abraham preached about, the God that Abraham warned and taught about.
He's not.
He's
See,
the God I
in
believe.
this book, the one you call Jesus is telling you everything, right? He's telling you the signs of his coming.
Right.
He's telling you what happened. He's telling you what's going to come.
He's not telling me.
Right.
Somebody
He
who
is.
apparently heard him three levels removed is telling me.
Do you believe him though?
Do I believe the person who wrote that?
Yeah.
Amen.
I think that's a book for guidance for sure, but it's not. We have the Quran.
Read that real Matthew 22.
We have the
32.
Quran. I don't need the Bible.
Matthew 22 and 32.
Right.
Says, I am the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac
Right.
and the God
Notice
of
how
Jacob.
they
So
add
he said he's
and
the
the God of
God
Isaac.
of three.
And the
And
God
the
of
God of
Jacob.
Isaac, because the prideful Israelites had to add that in.
No.
Yeah,
So was
Of
he the God
course.
of the Israelites?
of course. He's the God
Okay,
of
that's
all-
what he
all
said.
creation.
Because Jacob is the father of the 12 sons.
But is he not the God of Ishmael?
Ishmael
Yeah,
was not
he's the
chosen.
God is the God of everything.
Exactly.
Right,
Ishmael
but
was
he
not
had a
chosen.
So notice how they have to add and the
But he
God
had a
of
chosen.
Isaac.
Did he not have
Why
a
did they
chosen?
add that?
Did
That's-
God
that's
did,
an
did
addition.
God
I
have
wouldn't
a
bet that's
did
an
God
addition.
have a chosen?
No, this is red letter. This is
Well, he don't believe.
Well, he don't care about the red letter.
Let's go back to Amos 3:1 then.
God bless you guys.
No, we gotta hear one more.
This is my first hour in Baltimore. I don't want to be debating the Hebrew Israelites. God bless you guys. Thank
All
you.
right, man. All right. Yeah. You still might- you still might-
I think he a Jake, man. That dude stubborn as shit.
Because they was like the real heathen Israelites. They like holy and shit. Couldn't eat them.
Now I tell you
Well, I
where
think
I tell you where y'all cut him at, right? He said I don't believe in something that's pretty much written, right? That's pretty much what he was saying.
But that's why we said it.
You have a book that's written. So y'all already cut them on that anyway. Yeah, they said something that somebody saw or witnessed. He said, I want to hear the exact words. But you just said where you cut them at was that was pretty much the end of all that. Where you cut them at pretty much was, well, who wrote that? Somebody that had to probably witness.
He said,
you know,
he said 6-year-olds can recite the whole Quran. I said, well, why don't you recite it? He said, I don't know.
Well, I tell you what else 6-year-olds can recite. It's a damn school textbook. A damn rap song. What the hell that mean?
He said that you know, these were, he said that these were written in the book by other people, which was not written by them.
That's right.
So who built the CBS right there? Who built the aquarium? The owner did. He had people thinking. So therefore, he still.
But somebody got to write it.
Right. That's
where it got caught.
Messed up at. Because when you say that I'm following the book that was basically what people actually wrote what he said, first of all, to say that you have a problem with what we're saying as far as how we're reading it, because someone else wrote it, that's a hypocrite, number one. Number two, if that was the case, where I caught him at, which messed me up a little bit, is the fact that he said that you don't need the Quran to say it and read it and stuff. So why does it exist then?
That's what I said. I said who wrote the Quran?
Yep.
Somebody wrote it down.
Yep.
And if you a king, right? And Yahushua was a king, like King David. You know what I'm saying? You can write them down if you want, but that was also what is wrong with somebody like we speaking now?
Right.
You had scribes. Somebody writes the stuff down for you.
You know what?
Still the word of the Lord. No basketball player.
I was in detention center in Harford County, and it was my time, was dead. The gentleman used to read the Quran. So I asked him, I said, this is mine. I said, may I read the Quran? He gave it to me. I went and sat down on 3. I got to about page 8. And then said, tap your woman, tap your woman lightly. I read that. I closed the book up and took it back to him. And he said, are you finished? Right. I said, yeah. And I told him what it said. It says, if you give one guy law, you have life. And he said, yeah. And you know, I said to him, do you hit your mother?
All right.
All right.
I got this
hope
right.
You don't hit your mother.
I got this right here. This is Hebrews 10 and 7.
Give it a flea.
Then said, I come in the volume of the book.
Yeah, that's what I just quoted. And it says it in Psalms.
It is written of me to do thy will, O God. Yahushua, one of the terms for his names, titles, is the word.
Not just make excuses. Right? That's all that is. Mm-hmm. It's an excuse to make an excuse to say, hey, I don't believe in the book. Right. Yeah. People find things.
Yes, sir.
It's written by. But for you to think about somebody else writing the words of what the Messiah said tells me that you're looking for a loophole not to believe in the book. But who wrote the Quran?
Sir.
You said 6-year-olds recited it, then y'all shouldn't need it. That's what that tell about you. You damn near 40 or 30 something. You can't recite it, but a 6-year-old can. Come on, man.
Well, you got people in the Christian church that can recite Bible verses.
Yes, sir.
I don't believe they can recite the whole Quran front to back. I don't believe that shit. And if you are, you want some demonic worship shit.
That's a long
Only a power of another world, even on the left-hand side, can do something like that.
That's a Guinness Book of World Records type shit. Yeah. I got a couple of them.
Go ahead.
Right here. It says,
a lot of so-called black people adopted Islam, right? Or the Moors. Even that damn Farad Muhammad came over here and brought Islam to so-called black people. Go ahead. Ottoman Turk.
Yeah. This says similarities between Christians.
And that was a situation where we wasn't going back and forth about which book, like we pulled scriptures. He didn't pull any scriptures.
Right.
So he was just testing the validity of what we teach and what we're reading.
Yes, sir.
But he didn't have any sources or any proof for what he was teaching. And we pulled out 100 scriptures or like 20.
But yeah.
No, go ahead, brother.
Yeah. This is
Yes, sir.
similarities between Christianity and Islam. It says they both believe that practicing their religion is good for them because it creates harmony and peace. They believe that Satan is real and tries to tempt people away from God and to commit sin. They believe that paradise, heaven, and hell are real literal places. It says Christian and Muslims believe that the body is sacred.
That's all Roman Catholic, that heaven and hell, which is a spinoff. When you go back to the Reformation and all that, and even before then, that was a spinoff of the Roman Catholic Church. That heaven and hell doctrine. They believe in the same doctrine as the Christian Church.
It's basically the same thing.
It's the same thing. They got the rosary beads, like the Roman Catholic. The Muslim got the beads. They got the crescent moon and all that shit. That's in fucking Walt Disney. That's in Hollywood.
They also believe that Jesus was born to marry a virgin. It says, yeah, it's the same thing. Both faiths believe Jesus will return from heaven. Both faiths also believe in the afterlife. Both religions believe that the humans will have a day of judgment. It's the same thing.
Well, if y'all notice something too,
go deeper than that.
Yeah.
If y'all notice something too, he say he a Muslim, right? Look at this woman.
I was just saying.
She got no tiny ass face. That's why I said he might be,
Convert.
Oh, it says,
Wow.
it says the doctrine of the Trinity. The doctrine of the Trinity.
That's not biblical, man. That Trinity doctrine is not biblical, man.
He probably do
Okay. More than that,
That's it.
I got this right fast. This is Isaiah 48:11, right? And it says, "For mine own sake, even for my own sake, will I do it. For how should my name be polluted? And I will not give my glory unto another." Israel, Romans 9:4. If somebody can get that right fast, but they try to bring out that bull crap, that God cast away his people and now everybody in the world can get saved, man.
Right.
That's not the truth, man.
Okay.
Okay. And Luke, first chapter.
That's the same thing that the Jehovah's Witnesses. That's basically the same thing.
They do. Yeah. He sure trying to slip that in there real quick.
Yeah. Like God ain't fucking with y'all.
Right.
When we read that scripture, God don't change. Malachi. Right? The Lord don't change, and that's a blessing.
Yes, sir.
That he's not no human that's just going to say, you know what, forget those Israelites. I'm going to open up salvation for everybody.
Well, that's what we read in Romans 11. As God cast away his people. No.
Right. That's a blessing, man. That God has that love.
Let's go.
Has that love for his people, man. That's
go.
a blessing in itself because he's not fickle, able to just change like that. Man.
Yeah. How come Arabs ain't go through that? If the Most High cast away his people, right? Look at that sign, that slavery sign. How come Arabs? How come Moabites? How come Edomites?
No, just
anybody?
fuck our people,
Yeah.
Fuck our people, our people, they just spittle now.
How come they didn't go through that, man? It's punishment, right? That's all that is. It's punishment.
Our people are spittle now. Right. But the scriptures in
we just read it that God cast away his people. God forbid. It's calculated.
That cut right there,
Ezra
right?
says that the other people that come from Adam, that they're like spittle, man.
We already broke it. How many scriptures do you have to read to the guy?
Yeah.
It gets to that point, like,
What you up here for?
They say drop that falls from a vessel.
Not one.
Come on, man.
the book of Isaiah. So
A freaking drop that fell from a vessel is now more important than the whole vessel. Come on, man.
it's because he didn't understand and we couldn't go deep with him. He didn't understand that was punishment. The Lord is the one causing it.
Right.
You mean to tell me we had our free will and sinned against him, so when he adopted in Ishmael? Where's that in the scripture? Then that's when he got caught up. And when we proved that, show him where it's in the scriptures, that was men just writing it down.
Here,
Then all of a sudden he just made it up.
Yeah.
He pulled out his Arabic ass and shit.
Yeah.
Well,
He did.
the act of Paul. When the Lord revealed himself unto Paul.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
That was after the resurrection.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
Was the Lord still on the scene while Paul seeing these things?
Let's get the one-hitter quitter. First get Revelation 1:11 and
Yes.
somebody hold Hebrews 8.
I was thinking about that too. I was thinking about that the entire time. I'm behind camera, so I ain't trying to say too much.
Hey, if you got it, brother, pull it
Yes,
out.
sir. Yes, sir.
That guy like
You can call him Abdul.
But hey, those Muslims will never be able to answer what the hell did they prophesy. How
Only a so-called Negro Muslim or Israelite Muslim would act like that.
Yep.
how you gonna prophesy something that was already said before? You
That's
gotta
not a
say,
prophecy.
that's not a prophecy. You just reciting something that was already said.
Yeah.
With John, the Revelator, he spoke of a prophecy. Okay? The rice grain. That's a prophecy.
Yes, sir.
Things that's coming. Moses, he spoke of a prophecy. Our people will go into Egypt again.
That's right.
That's a prophecy. You got it.
Romans, Revelation 1:11.
This Revelations 1 and 11.
Oh, let's see if it's okay. So write it down. Go ahead.
Say it. I am Alpha and Omega,
Right.
the first and the last.
What letter is this?
Red letter.
All right.
And where hast thou seen?
Right.
Right in a book.
What? Read that again.
Right in a book.
Read it over again.
What thou seest. Right in a book.
Right. What thou seest right in the book. Now, since you want to go into that, you didn't stay long enough to get the more of the Arabic ass book. when Moses was on Mount Sinai, what did he do? Moses didn't actually see the Lord, the Most High. But he gave him the instruction to come down. And I guarantee it was some Arabic nigga like him, right? Come up there, no, man, the Lord ain't doing it. That's what they were saying. Oh, you got to prove it to us. And then the earthquake came, and then they believed all of a sudden. See, you're going to believe when the missiles start to fly, man.
Oh, you got that
when
right.
When it's economy crash,
You
man,
will.
you know
That's
how,
right.
you know how confused,
You know how confused that guy was? He said that he was a Hamite. You know, just because he lived in Egypt.
because that means mixture. A lot of people don't understand their heritage, their history. They don't know, man.
That's right.
Egypt wasn't even called Egypt before it was conquered, man.
And then when I explained to him that the Egyptians wasn't even there, he said, "Come on, man, you ain't no damn Egyptian. Shut the hell up." I'm surprised he didn't pull Isaiah 11 when it says, "Blessed be my people, Egypt." I would have cut him on that too.
Oh yeah, big time. Oh yeah, you already know. Big time.
Don't try it. Don't try it. How did Kimbe Mutombo say? Don't try it. Get that out of here. Go ahead, read that Hebrews 8.
Yeah.
Since he said God got rid of the Israelites and then adopted Abraham.
Christians.
If I got a son, if I got sons, right? Which I do, and I'm mad at them and I punish them, that means they just punished. That means I done away with them.
You just go and get rid of him.
Now you're calling the Most High deadbeat father. Shut the hell up. That's what it is.
Facts. Yeah.
Now your Yahweh has become deadbeat.
Right.
That's why you don't worship him, you damn Arab. We don't know what the hell he is. He could be an Israelite, he could be Ishmael, he could be an Edomite, he could be a Hamite. Go ahead.
If they had taught us what was sin, what is sin, we would have a better understanding, because it says that Lord came and died for our sins.
Exactly.
So if once we in the past had know what was sin,
right,
we would have John 3:60 would have more sense back then.
Exactly. In fact, you know what? Let's go there. Somebody hit John 11:49. All right. Get Hebrews 8:8. All right. Now, before you get that, John 11:49. Like we say. That's why he had to come and die for us. Yeah. You got to think about it. If he didn't, like, if he just threw away with us and done away with us, then he wouldn't need to come and die for our sins.
And then too, the men that wrote about him, they were Israelites. Man, they wasn't no goddamn heathen.
You think it was a damn little 6-year-old Arab child? I'm like a funny guy.
I want to know what he wrote. You gotta write it down in the book of Jesus.
That's a good point too, man. Because you just said it's broken up. Now it said now in Matthew 13, right? Remember in Matthew 13 it said it's given to you to know the mysteries. Some 6-year-old ain't gonna open up this book and know it automatically know. 70-year-olds can't even understand that. So what the hell is he talking about?
That's
Man?
why they read the book from front to back. It's okay, I understand.
And when did we ask him to recite?
Oh, he couldn't.
He didn't even know what the word Quran meant.
No, he was getting ready to call up his little cousin.
He said it means the narration. What is a narrator? Right? Oh yeah, he's talking about narrator.
Yeah.
Well, that's who's writing the book, the Bible. You had narrators.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
When you watch Canadian movies, it gives you a better idea of certain things.
It does.
Or you see things nowadays compared to back then.
Exactly. Even in when you go to war, you have recorders that record what's happening.
That's right.
And writing down what's happening.
Josephus.
Josephus.
Go ahead. Channel GMS narrator.
GMS the Bible, yep, narrator. Yep, this brother made a good point.
Yes, he
Josephus.
did. You hit there, man.
If you want to go into that more, brother,
Oh, yeah.
the light that shines.
That's
down
right.
on it.
That's right. That's right. Yes, sir.
Hey.
I got the word narrator, right?
I was just looking up that.
You got it?
Well, I got a synonym for it, but you go ahead.
Okay. It says narrator, a person who narrates, right? Which the word gives a spoken or written account of, right? That's what the word narrator means, to give a written or spoken account of, right? Especially a character who recounts the events of a novel or narrative poem. So you have
No, one of the synonyms, because it just broke it down, right? It said a spoken or written, right? And one of the synonyms for narration is sketch. You write it down.
Wow.
You write it down.
He knew it was heating up. That's why he had to get out of the kitchen. Yo, the kitchen is where you do the cooking. The stove got too hot.
some people are skilled at listening. Some people are skilled at writing. You know, some people are skilled at doing different things, man. You know, publishing. When King James, when they translated the Bible, he had scholars.
You mean to tell me you're gonna be a king, right? And you gonna sit there and go over all of it? Man, I got 5 wives I gotta pop tonight. I ain't got time to write nothing down. Hold on, babe.
Right.
I went to war.
Right.
That's the reason why somebody writes this for you, to get the real true story.
Right.
Because it'll sound exaggerated for a person to write of himself.
Right. And there's a book with it's called King James and his contemporaries or something like that. And they were saying that when King James had passed away back then, they were saying that a lot of people was talking shit about him.
So Anthony Weldon.
Yeah, they were saying he was a flame, you know. So his men was like, nah, man, this is how he actually was, and they wrote down, you know, how he conducted himself and what he did, you know, because you let people say whatever, like you said. If it was just the Lord Himself just saying these things or whatever, that would be vain, pretty much, you know. And a lot of people wouldn't even believe in that, but being as though that you not only have, you know, him, people that are seeing his witness, there was eyewitnesses to the things that he was doing. They was like, yo, I've seen this, man.
Yes, sir.
This is the truth.
Come on.
And it wasn't even just him.
That's right.
I know we probably got a scripture, but I'm thinking about Matthew the 16th chapter.
Okay.
When they asked, the Lord asked Peter, who do you say that I am? When Matthew was like, he saw Peter say, you are the Messiah.
And that's when he made Peter.
That was a written account, man.
When you look at Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and so-called God, look, the whole Bible is a gospel. I don't know what you're talking about. But when you're looking at that, those accounts are written, but they come out different, each one of them, or how it's explained. Like if I wrote down that building, a plane flew into that building, I'm gonna write the plane came from the east and went over and grass in the building, this happened. Somebody else on that side going to write the same thing. But at the end of the story, it still come out to the same damn thing, but different. It's like little bit of differences. Different. So come on. That's why you go to Matthew 22 when he was explaining the reincarnation. It says it also in Luke, I believe 12.
Yeah.
It says the same thing, but it says it a little bit different. And that's to solidify what was being said.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead, brother.
All in all, that shows the Lord power too.
Exactly.
Preserve his word.
Exactly. The most I was going to make sure, like when you look at the Bible, right, especially in the so-called gospel, things were said over and over again. The parables and everything. Because niggas are hard-headed.
This word, man, is not something that was it? You could just somebody, one person could just recite all that stuff. To just say all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
No, it's too powerful.
Yeah.
You got all of these powerful sayings in there. You know, the word plays. You know, the dark sayings, the mysteries, all these different things, man. So that's why it's spiritual for brothers to actually get into this thing and actually believe in the doctrine that's being said, man. You know, because this word is so vast. It's so much in it, man.
And the knowledge that they have out of it, it comes from some of it out of the Bible. That's why that Farad, with the Louis Farrakhan, walk with the Bible.
He always spoke that.
Yeah, if you get a shortage in Walmart and the toilet paper, there's none there, just get the Quran.
That sounds like a commercial.
I know. Tear out a page. I got 300 sheets. All right.
Open up a toilet paper brand called Quran.
You also said that they speak about us in the book of Cap.
You know what? I'm gonna get that.
Please do.
Please.
Go ahead, Elder. Go, Elder. Go, Elder.
Quran for the
Oh, tomorrow.
Watch them hemorrhoids, though. But I can put some sharp paper, wipe your ass now. You might have to wet it a little bit. Y'all brothers crazy, man.
acid water.
That damn Arab language rub off in your ass.
Oh, hell no.
Get up from the toilet.
Ready to bomb shit.
Say, your ass literally speaking Quranish. All right, right here, Quran. The book of Sirach, which we got the book of Sirach, which is the book of Cow, 2:1 and 22. I don't know why they only show it. It says, Muhammad claimed, well, it says anyway, Muhammad claims Gabriel gave the knowledge to Gabriel, which means power of God. I think I'm on the wrong one. See if I can find it. Not that one. I'm gonna have to find it. I lost it. I might erase it by accident. Somebody, who got the Quran online? Somebody go ahead.
I got something. This is Isaiah 53:1. It says, "Who has believed our report?" Right? Somebody look up that word report right there. No, I got it. Who has believed our report? It says, "And to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed?" So when we doing this, we're the messengers. Is that report R-E-P-O-R-T? That's what.
They might, Old English is different. They might spell it different.
I got it.
Go ahead. Who got it?
All right. It says, report. It says, give a spoken or written account of something that one has observed, heard, done, or investigated.
Those words, man. We'll put those words in there for a reason, man. You know, you can't get around it, man. And then the verse is powerful. That's why you go into it. You know, to study to show that you are approved, man.
Now you got to be 6 years old and just blink your eyes and recite.
Muslim elders, they that boy. You know,
Yeah, that is a good point.
he said 6.
What's up with them keep talking about 6-year-old boys?
Oh man, see there you go into another realm now.
A weirdo when he walks.
Oh shit, you'd have moved up. You'd have moved up a level.
He did gotta have that really stiff walk.
That little suit.
When they go to heaven or something like that, you gotta blink your eyes.
Let me read this.
Yes, sir.
The book of cows. And they don't even believe in eating cows. So they got to call the book of cows. Chapter. Where's that in the Bible that you can't eat the cow? Chapter 2, 136. It says, "Say we have faith in Allah," which was the original name, "and that which has been sent down to us, and that which was sent down to Abraham, Ishmael." See how they switched it up? But he did have Ishmael first, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, and Jacob, and the tribes is the 12 tribes of the Israelites.
Oh my goodness, man.
This is in the book of cows. Who received the revelations through the prophets that were sent to them, and that which Moses and Jesus was given, that which the prophets were given from their Lord. He says there, it says we separate, right? We make no distinctions between any of them, and him do we submit. This is in your Quran. But the kitchen got a little hot. We didn't get a chance to bring out the extinguishers.
Also, too, how a deaf person will understand the Bible.
Exactly. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, the Quran.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Quran. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, you know what he got to do? He got to wipe his ass.
Fresh out of toilet.
Get your Quran. You can say that. This is how you're going to learn. What is that?
Allah Akbar.
Allah Akbar. So when you deaf, just tear the Quran. Take a laxative first. And then you just start wiping. You're going to learn some goddamn Islam.
Now you wipe your hands in this.
Akbar, you be like, where the hell that come from? I was wiping my hand. Yeah, everybody watch that. Motherfucker might come in and drop a book bag and walk off and shit. Man, them motherfuckers crazy.
Yes, they are. Yes,
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
I don't trust them.
I know mine too.
Dumb and niggas, I can't trust. Go ahead.
Hell no, man.
They be having videos about that. They just drop a book.
Oh hell yeah, they be dressed up as the little white robe.
The whole classroom ran out.
That should be funny as hell though. I ain't gonna lie.
You gotta have some fun.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, that answers your question. That's how a blind man gonna get it.
Oh yeah.
You have now recited the Quran.
You know how long that would take? That's a lot of whole thing. That's a whole day and a half to read the whole thing.
He's talking about 6-year-olds doing that.
Come on, man.
Yeah, ass might change off of that.
Preparation. Hey, might do that shit. Come up with a little suitcase. Like you motherfuckers never walk with suitcases.
Right, it is.
This is Hebrews. Hey, but those guys are the ones that bringing them drugs and shit in though. They talk all that shit. To be honest, we laugh, but them they gonna get paid back too, man.
They going
You didn't see how he tried to change it was the Afro.
Yeah.
The Afro African.
Yeah, yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell
He
yeah,
tried to flip it. No, it was your ass too, along with the other so-called African tribes.
Yes, sir.
But guess what? Even them Hamites gonna pay too, man.
Mhm. Yes,
He
sir.
had some knowledge,
Yes, sir.
but he was off.
This is Hebrews 8:8.
So in other words, is God going to give us back our glory? Let's see.
Okay.
And I'm gonna see if Ishmael is in here, man.
Okay.
And this ain't written by Mark and them on the side, right? That's who it's saying. If he would have stayed, he'd have got his Quran whooping. If he would have stayed, go ahead.
This is Hebrews 8:8. It says, "For finding fault with them, he saith, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah."
Wait, what happened to the Ishmael? The house of Ishmael?
He was the
Go ahead.
Wow.
It says, "Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt."
Somebody made covenant with Ishmael. They made no covenant with Ishmael.
Ishmael made a covenant with them goddamn bean pies, man. Fucking- Hey.
There was no agreement between Ishmael
Well,
and the Lord.
it was kind of a covenant. I'm not going to what you're saying wrong. There was many covenants made.
Yeah.
And he got the blessings of the 12 princes and the money. I mean, wealth, land. But he didn't get the covenant of the Israelites. Go ahead.
Yeah, because Noah had a covenant.
Noah had a covenant. No,
Nice.
there's different covenants.
The covenant, go back to the contract.
Yeah, he better get it. I'll tell you what, he better get him and his wife out of here.
Oh hell yeah,
There's
you're
a
right.
contract. But that wife with them tight pants, them spandies, yeah, she gonna be getting it too. Then he gonna be all sad and shit. I'll be like, recite that, nigga. Your wife, she done went off because they Americanized, man. You already see she had an attitude.
Yoga pants on.
Them tight pants.
Yeah.
How you gonna have hair covered in tight pants?
yoga
Look at
pants
the
on.
heels.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
sir.
yeah,
Yes,
that's
sir.
all. Free.
You might come over and worship his mom and see some black ass nigga.
You go, bro. You go, bro. Yeah.
If we gonna get out the window.
This bitch gonna
Ain't
fly.
gonna get in the window.
Oh yeah.
But you know what?
Couple
He's
of
a man
walls.
and woman. I ain't mad.
Right. I hear what you say.
A little extra butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I hear you though.
Man and woman.
Yeah, I heard that.
Maybe on a day that I just got out of jail and nobody looking. Don't come to the window though. You ain't gonna fit. Come to the back door.
WD-40 will help that.
Yo, brother, crazy.
Remember WD-40 work on everything, man.
Works every time.
It does. It does.
It says because they
Hey, it's a man and woman.
Yes,
That's
true.
the best part about it.
I mean, that's a breath of fresh air.
Yes, sir.
I mean, she got she look like she got the giant meat department in her. At least it's a woman.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
She like, she's got the meat. Go ahead.
Arby's, we got the meat.
It says because but then there's always bad examples walking. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Lord always sends examples.
Yes, sir.
Oh shit. Hey.
God damn, man. Go ahead, keep reading, brother.
It says because they continue not in my covenant.
Right. The covenant they didn't continue is the laws. That man with man, woman with woman.
Facts.
I mean, man with woman, not man with man.
Right.
But yes, I was doing man and man,
Yeah.
and woman and woman.
Yeah.
Okay, not man with man and woman with woman. Or whatever this shit is, you don't know what it is.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the
Man,
definition of Babylon, man.
That's bad. Yes.
it could have been a man that switched to a woman,
Yeah.
and the other one could have switched around.
Yeah.
They cut their genitalia off.
Oh.
You want the one that you saw in that Mark?
Oh my gosh.
Mark
Crazy.
Marvin, Jerry Springer, I don't know. They was all
More.
Yeah, he said there was one was the man, but was actually a woman.
Yeah.
The other one was the woman, but was actually the man.
Yeah, that was on Jerry Springer. Wow. Now the Lord is going to deliver it. That's why he has to die for our sins.
Right.
We
Right.
need it.
Right.
And it's
Yes, we
hard
do.
to look and believe that we are the children of the Most High.
Yep.
But do you see us? Do you see the condition that we're in as a people? Do you see, sir? Do you see the condition our people are in? Right. We're the chosen people of God.
So why ain't the Arabians going through that stuff, man?
Right.
You know?
And the ones that are going through hell over there,
Yeah.
some of them are
Yep. Some of them are like this guy that was up here. I believe that was a Jake, man.
Yeah, he was.
You know?
But then they come here and open up those gas stations and all that
Yeah,
shit.
and that
We
like
don't
they
have,
shit.
we start off with, when we was put into slavery, we didn't have a fighting chance to start with anything.
Right.
We didn't have what they call the wealth. That's bad generational wealth. We didn't have that to start off with. And we still don't. Can you imagine starting off with the gold and keeping it in your family and keeping it going? That's why when you look at Welch's great, that's all by the Welch's family, man. You know?
And that money increases over the years.
Yeah. You see that commercial with that little Edomite that talk about the milk with the farms and all that? She's squatting down. That little irritating commercial. That white woman, and she talking about Hill Valley Farm, the milk or whatever.
Hillshire Farm.
Hillshire Farm or whatever.
Yeah.
That's passed down through her family, man.
Yeah. So because wealth is something that continues to generate income. You know?
And they got it off the backs of our people.
Exactly.
Starting off the cotton.
All of it.
All of it.
So, yeah, for these guys, right? They're extremely wealthy, man. They got all the resources. That money is just continuing, man. You know, they got continuous amounts of income, man.
The reason why I said that's that mannerism of Jake, because only Jake stands up and fight for his faith that hard. Like a regular Arab that walk by there, you know, with them crusty feet.
Yeah.
And them sandals. And them sandals. They just walk on it.
Big ass turbans on there.
They just walk by and just look and just keep going.
Yeah.
They don't pay attention.
Right. And then if you was actually from Egypt, you don't sound like it. You know?
You sound like straight
Straight from the hood.
Yeah, straight.
That nigga just talking about Indian. That nigga up the block.
Yeah, that nigga right up the block. He probably lived over there.
Yeah. Come back home. He ain't even got.
And then he shaved up his.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't regular nigga from the hood.
He ain't even got.
Hey, he got waves. And then the woman, she's like another Negro woman.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You can see that's an Eve, man. That's an example of two Israelites, man.
Colonialized.
Right.
Yes, sir.
There was no difference when that Jake came up in the Old Testament Israelite with his woman.
Oh yeah.
Now if she was white, you got to speak outside to get there.
Oh shit! What the? They got them Mexicans, man.
That's Jake.
In the car.
Hell yeah, that's Jake all the way.
They got
man.
the whole speaker facing outside.
Hell yeah, man. That's Jake all the
He
goddamn
don't
way.
want to hear it. He want everybody else to hear it.
Yeah. He probably don't hear shit.
He probably got on headphones.
Yep, it's a car.
You know, you be having little cars with the tires sitting out. You know? Oh, they look good though.
But that's not Israel, though.
Oh, get the fuck out of here, man. I like that shit.
Yeah, the black only Israelites, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Very.
No, that's true.
Guess what?
That is
You
true.
Israelites that are white, first of all, we're destroyed. So the Lord did cast us off to a degree, but he's going to give us back that skin color. Keep reading Hebrews 8.
Got it. It says, because they continue not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, says the Lord.
Man, that dude must have been from the hood, man. He ain't from no damn Egypt.
I don't think he's from no damn Egypt, man.
Yeah,
What's
no
wrong with you,
accent.
man? Hell no.
He was probably locked up and shit. Met an Arab woman and popped her and made her put on that shit.
If he was from Egypt, he was probably one of the hood Egyptians. Man, what you doing about the
Going to my pure beard.
Yeah.
baby.
Right, he remind me of Polite and them. They carry like if he had that black big nose like Polite, everybody would believe he's just a nigga. But because he got that look, that pointy nose, and he took a razor and shaved up the beard, he looked like now he looked like an Egyptian, an Arab.
His bubble was probably Arabic or whatever.
Yeah, what?
I said his bubble was probably Arabic or whatever.
His bubble was probably Arab.
Yeah, he had a nigga popper.
That ain't nothing but a Negro, man.
Yeah.
Like, he might eat him or something.
He might. Yeah.
Go ahead.
But this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel.
Yeah, just because somebody disagree with us, don't make them a heathen.
Right.
So you know how many of our people disagree with us? I guarantee you got probably more of our people disagree with us than the heathens did.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know who give us the most problem? Our people.
They fucking lost. Our people don't want to hear the truth, man.
Facts.
You know?
That's a prime example. Might be. But if they have children, that baby will look really white.
Yeah.
And he might take on being an Arab and come up here with that shit. Get out of here, just like your father.
It's like your father.
Get your ass out of here, nigga. Get out of my pyramid, nigga. I got all traps set up around here. Nigga got speakers in the pyramid.
Yeah.
LCD screens. Hey, if you had them niggas get the pyramids, they'd do that.
Yeah, they
niggas be chopping up coke and shit.
They have their own little roofing spirit. But in that big ass pyramid, they have it.
Oh shit.
Area.
Put the satellite dish on the top of the pyramid. You know what I'm saying?
You know, it's no new thing under the sun.
Stripper poles all
They might have great shit. They had stripper poles.
Yeah.
Next floor had the coke and drugs. Next floor had the music. Next floor had all that other shit. Cafeteria. I'm sorry, a whole big room of full fucking people.
You said something earlier, and a precept was looking for a phone. Could I read it?
Right, go ahead and read it, brother.
Ecclesiasticus 10:31.
Oh, I know that one.
He that is honored in poverty, how much more in riches? And he that is honorable in riches, how much more in poverty? For that same statement you made.
Yep, that's a good one. That's a good one.
We'll be able to enjoy it.
I know since I was buying your house, I had to bunch them up with it.
Right. He's spraying it up. Every week. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Full metal jacket.
Full metal jacket.
God damn.
Teflon Don for real.
Go ahead, brother. What you saying?
No, I'm saying if you want to have a pyramid in the kingdom, you be able to do that, man. You know, but you know we're gonna be able to enjoy the world how it's supposed to be.
Right. Yeah, we're not gonna have no idols.
Yeah.
Jacob trying to turn it back to.
You know, they trying to say that the pyramids is like a great wonder. How did they make
Israelites?
Yeah.
The Israelites.
Yeah, it is a great wonder. It is.
Right. It was right at the right point to the sun and the line up and everything.
Yep.
We had power even on the left hand side, man.
Dang.
So you gotta understand, even in our wickedness, we are powerful.
Yes, we are.
Wow.
Yep.
They had the first power.
Yep.
Both of them. Both had the first power on the right hand side.
Yep.
And the Pharaoh had it on the left hand.
That's right.
But the right hand was stronger.
Wow.
Because the Most High controlled the left hand side.
Yeah, right. You said that.
That's why we said that even though they worship the other gods, those other gods had to have some form of power. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For us to worship.
Yeah.
We can see that in Jeremiah 44 when they worshiped the Queen of Heaven. And they said, when we went off and worshiping the Queen of Heaven, we saw no victuals. We didn't have any power. Somebody get that. Yes, sir. Jeremiah 44, I think 17. Yes. Actually, I know. Forty-four 17.
Anyways, this is Jeremiah
I know all of them, right?
24:17. It says, "But we will certainly do whatsoever thing go forth out of our own mouth,
This is Israelites. Go ahead.
to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven,
Right.
and to pour out drink offerings unto her,
Right.
as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings and our princes, in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. But then had we plenty of victuals."
Right. Plenty of victuals. Somebody look up victuals. VICTUALS. Yep. Keep going. Go ahead.
"And were well, and saw no evil."
The victuals. Yeah, we're gonna look it up. It can mean a number. I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead. Basically, benefits.
Okay.
Don't matter. Just read it.
It's basically food for provision.
There you go. Food for like kind of like food stamps. You got it in the
Oh man, that's crazy.
I meant the blue letter. Jeremiah 44 what? What's that? 17. We're going to show the blue letter too. Keep reading.
It says, "But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her,
Right.
we have wanted all things."
Right. So as soon as they decided, we ain't messing with the Queen of Heaven, we're coming back to the Lord. That goes back to what you quote, Hosea, the 4th chapter.
Mm-hmm.
When he said, "I will not punish you for your iniquity."
Oh, yeah.
The reason why people continue to sin is because the Lord ain't punishing. And as long as you elect, it's kind of like if you want to go in a straight line, right? And if you even skew off a couple of millimeters, it might not make sure a difference right then, but a mile up the road, you'll be way over there because nobody hit you to get back on course. So if you start off in a straight line and you skew off a little bit, for the first block, you ain't gonna pretty much know it. But by the time you get a half mile down the street, you way over there.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And nobody's put you to get you back on course again. And that's why people continue to sin and continue to get all messed up because nobody's correcting them. And now that we're trying to correct them, they say, "No, I don't want correction. I like being an adulterer. I love, yeah, I love my craft."
The time of Israelites went on. You know, the kings and the princes.
Yeah.
So that made the nation, the head,
Yep. A lot of those kings was going on in the Bible.
and it trickled down.
And then you had some kings that was like, was it Jehu? Yeah, king of Israel that was righteous and they was getting stuff in order, get them out the temple, and tearing down Baal. And then right after it's done, they go and start sinning. Goddamn hypocrites, man. You got like that comforter. He came into the truth and woke our people up, you know, and said great things. And then he started calling himself the comforter.
Yeah, it went off.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, victual, it says, usage, it says bread, food, and grain.
Yeah, so the victuals, you're right. And various other
benefits, like you said.
Yeah, the benefits, you know, you might get a nice, comfortable couch, you know, all the things that you want. You know, if you love Islam, you can follow that shit. You can wipe your ass with it. Free pizza every 20 pieces that you roll. The best pizza roll.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I always wonder why those goddamn Muslims, some Negro Muslims, why don't they own any gas stations, man?
Pizza parlors and shit.
They don't even let them work in a pizza spot.
Oh, yeah.
And I always thought, honestly, I always thought those Muslims was in the back stomping on the pizza with bare meat. I don't know why I thought that shit. Doing that. I always thought that shit.
I don't know if y'all remember that. I don't know if y'all remember Chinese Burger King foot legs.
Yeah.
Burger King foot legs.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right?
Yeah, I remember that. That came from them
I
damn
wonder
Muslims.
what they doing with that damn go in the back, man. I got some freak shit going on. I remember that the Arab woman came out and served us.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, yep. I remember that.
She complimented us and everything.
Yep, she
And
sure
I had
did.
nice eyes and shit.
Yeah, I remember that.
And she bowed down in front of him. Here you go, sir. I said, damn, we almost in the kingdom. We almost out of here. And then we woke up and like, damn.
And here we are. Yeah. Yeah, come on. Actually, you the one that pointed that out. I didn't know that was cool.
You said what?
No, I said you the one that pointed that out when we got in the car. And I was like, damn, you see, sure did. Cause you're not used to this. Man, that's the way people fucking drive now, man.
Trying to get
It's all good.
That's too much estrogen. Too much.
That's all that is. And that was exactly. You know?
But yeah, the woman came.
Yeah.
She bowed down in front of him, and the other one came. I think it was two of them, right?
It was,
one.
maybe it was. I don't
can't
remember.
But I know she bowed down. Nice. I know I was in a parking lot. You know, one of them areas, she was an older one. You know, and I was walking down there, and she stopped in front of me and just bowed down and shit. I said, God damn, I wasn't used to nothing like that.
I was gonna say you don't notice it because it's just like, oh wait a minute, what just happened?
Right.
You know?
I had a black woman bow down in front of me the other day.
I remember you said that.
I was in Walmart. It was an actual older black woman. Stop. I was pushing the cart. She said, excuse me, sorry, sir. And then she bowed down and held it. And then stood up and started talking.
Oh, that's hard.
Then she started talking some freak shit. She was doing good until she went there. Then if I did that, walk up to the woman and start saying nasty shit, she would have called me a pervert.
Yeah.
You goddamn woman allowed to do that. Because she was saying something about, I'm nasty or something.
Oh,
now if I walked up to her and bowed down and said, yeah, I'm a nasty ass man. You don't look at me like, nigga, call security. Double standard.
Like 10 police cars be lined up outside the store.
Back then, you should Samson, who's been plowing my house. You know what I mean? Fucking my woman. Who's been plowing my house?
Yeah, because it was property. Your woman, you know why men get so hurt more than women? Because we're the facilitators. We're the ones doing the work. We're taking them. Anytime you go inside of a woman, you're taking her. She's now your property. Right. They flipped it. Ming Ming should know it.
That's my woman. When I want it,
when you take it, so you'll hear a woman say, "That's my man."
Nope.
You ain't supposed to be saying that shit.
I ain't yours, bitch.
But now society has balanced the scales and made it 50-50. When man and woman aren't equal, I don't know who keeps saying that. You're being penetrated. That's why when a woman cheats on you, you're extra angry. You're pissed the hell off. That was my damn woman.
Right.
We don't know what went into this shit. Right. I had some fucking
the Lincoln Tunnel.
I had some shit that looked like it was in your kitchen. You be like, God damn. And then you go lay with it, the rolling pin.
Yeah.
Then you gotta go lay with it.
Yeah.
And then you gotta think about that shit.
Something right.
But these fucking women be trying to change you. Trying to change you, and they won't change shit. The society, they try to change you and try to get you to where they want you to be at, man.
Yeah, you got like women that are like the apostles, right? Because of that power. But when they get them, their whole goal is to flip them. That's like with Samson. The whole goal is to flip them. Even Bathsheba, they don't talk much, but Bathsheba had to tell her son Solomon, "Give not thy strength to woman."
That's right.
And why did she say that?
Right.
She took David's strength.
Right.
Damn.
Like we were saying, she had to, when he got up with his hand on his hip,
Yeah.
She had to be bent over, washing. How you say?
Going down the arch of her back, rolling off her cheek, and behind the calf muscle.
Woo!
Like you
said,
yo, she never screamed. She never said, I belong to you.
Right. She was like, give it to me, Dad.
She gave her son that advice, and he still
ain't listening.
Still ain't listening.
Wow. Just like he gave us advice, and our ass ain't listening.
Yeah, that's that.
Right. Like if you're in the truth and you got that advice,
yeah.
I'm telling you about that shit. The woman, man, there's sometimes they'll give you some femininity. And if you're a real man, they get you through that feminine nature. Rub up against you and tell you nice things.
Yeah.
Rub your hair. And you know my hair ain't that damn good. Why you saying I got nice hair?
Shit. See, I got these.
You want to rub something else and say it was good? That's different.
Right. But that's why these other camps, man, they can't get with the fact that we're masculine. You know?
That's right.
Then all throughout this week, you had vocab demon, kind of Valentine's postcard with Apostle Romlaw with the prostitute thing and all that stuff. You know, men in the Bible dealt with prostitutes, man.
Yeah.
But that's the dangers of Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi the one started that shit. Right. And then vocab sees it and then he zooms in on it. So they'll all merge with one another in wickedness. But then Wi-Fi won't go to vocab and say, look, you're wrong for that. That's still our Israelite brother.
Right there, Team Max with the enemy.
How did Wi-Fi even get that video out? I thought they had bad reception.
Yeah, Wi-Fi, your internet about to be cut.
And the average woman now these days are like a prostitute. Because what's the first thing they say when they look for a man?
Yeah, that's what I said in the
Where the
video.
money?
They ain't got nothing but prostitutes up in that school they got, man.
They all prostitutes.
First of all, when that scripture, as we broke it down about the harlot, that isn't actually talking about a prostitute. When it talks about being joined unto a harlot, that was talking about joining unto the worship of other gods. That's why in Deuteronomy it says, thou shalt not make that prostitute thy daughter. That prostitute, they don't look at words. It had nothing to do with actual prostitution. It did come through sex eventually because the woman they would take their sacrifice their woman, kind of like what we do to Hollywood. If you got a smart daughter and she's a good singer, you'll send her off to Hollywood.
America's Got Talent.
America's Got Talent. And what they'll do, you've given them up for a sacrifice. Because then they're gonna go to those parties, they're gonna get reamed out, they're gonna get passed around. That's what that's talking about.
Right.
There was women meant to be prostitutes. What are you talking about? At least you're happier.
After that woman, if that husband passed away, ain't nobody really want to get with that woman that already was used up. You know, the woman was used up, man.
In the law, if you see a damsel, you grab her up and you get a front.
How many brothers had women and it all fell apart? Right? Everybody, right? Myself, you had women somewhere along.
That's right. I'm sorry, though.
Right. Right? Now you thought it was gonna go on, you was gonna make it, you thought it was gonna be a great life. Well, your time is run out. You had a good run. Now the shit is out of there.
Simulation.
But how much problems would you have had with a prostitute?
Hey, give them the money and they do what they gotta do, and that's it.
Trial.
Everybody happy.
You know what? You are right.
I will have to deal with her nagging.
Like you get a stripper. You get a stripper. She come with her own pole with the suction cup. And then she start dancing and she bring out a bag of tricks. Her job is to make you feel like a king. And those kings, what happened with King David? They brought her what? They brought her a damsel, a Shunammite. Why did they do that? This wasn't no woman that was engaged to be married and all that. She wanted to lay with the king. And there was nothing wrong with it. And her whole job was to be in duty to give him heat. Right? So he could lay with her.
And he was old, about to pass away. She was young.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Now you got these people out here that be trying to get hit from old perverts.
Right.
Like, yo, you old. You 45.
Yeah. You my age. You want it fresh.
Camera, brother.
We're not gonna get to it, brother.
Helicopters flying over and shit. But I know you're right though. You're right. Look at him, he rubbing his hands like, hey. We all do though. We all want to fresh.
Please all put your hands up.
I'll be like,
I ain't touch it. I ain't touch it. That had our ass up on that screen. And
Yeah, got them news.
Sex offenders.
Yeah.
goddamn.
Motherfuckers ain't even do shit, man.
Yeah.
But you don't want them fresh in this society.
Hell no, I want you.
Because they're not gonna be fresh. You just number one. I was a brother, I ain't gonna say his name, but he bragged about he had a couple virgins. Yeah. I said, you still messing with him? Yeah, I still mess with him time to time. Not so much. Yeah. All right. It's what it is. You young brother, you got a lot to learn.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You young brother. You think you the cutest thing walking around? The worst thing women got for them now is variety. Well, we're the ones supposed to have the fucking variety.
Yes.
Is everything upside down?
Yes, sir.
Bro, you better go. You about to take that power away from you.
Okay.
You said, I want to. That's what these women want to do, man. They want to control you, man. Don't let no woman control you, man.
All right.
Okay. This verse, this is Hebrews 8:10. It says, "For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days."
Now, we will say, I have to say this, that you have to love your wife. Though. Right. Don't treat her like you're a super tyrant. And I'm in the truth, bitch. You know, smacking her around and shit. Go to bed, bitch. Kicking her up the steps and shit. Don't do that, man. Kick her down the steps. You ain't make my eggs right. You know the whole thing. Oh, yeah, good job. Bitch, this chicken is cold. You got to still love your wife, man. You got to be honest. And you don't want to go to jail. God damn. They can call you. When you restraining yourself, they'll lock you up.
Hell yeah.
That happened to me.
You can't even defend yourself.
Yeah, I grabbed the wrist from her, hit me and shit. And they looked at the rings on the fucking wrist and locked me up anyway.
There was this, I think I told you about this video I was watching.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, see? But there was this video I think I told you about I was watching. The guy who recorded it, he was standing in the store. So this woman was I think I don't know what the hell she had. She had some type of weapon. Swinging at him, she kept missing though. But then when this went on for like 2-3 minutes, too long. No, he didn't knock her out. But he was kind of like wailing on her though, because he got tired of it. It was an older guy too, so he grabbed her and he restrained her, started like wailing because she kept trying to attack her with whatever weapons she had.
Right.
So then some old black woman came in the back. That's Why he doing that? Why he touching it like that? And the guy behind the camera was like, he just defending himself.
Right.
And actually, while she was swinging on him, he was like yelling at them. Somebody heard me call the police. She's trying to hurt me. Nobody did it. They just standing there looking stupid.
Wow.
Then all of a sudden, when he starts swinging on her, that's when all of a sudden now he's the problem.
And this is the same thing happened when the police start whipping on the dad. See, the police allowed to whip your ass though. So I remember this.
Oh, hell yeah.
That big burly woman swung on the cop.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And he knocked her ass out.
Yep.
And everybody, then all the niggas came up. Man, what the fuck is up with that, man?
You say Super Sim.
Super Sim, they came up. And I it was only like 15 cops. It was like 100 Jake. They ain't doing a damn thing.
They standing there crying and shit.
You don't put the hand on a woman. So what does that do to a species that are allowed to do whatever they want with no consequences? Can you imagine if you could go in there and just take shit out of the store, walk out, and nobody can do nothing to you? Well, guess what? You're going to go back. See, the black woman is lawless. She could do whatever she wanted to do. The woman in general in this society is lawless. They have the greatest advantage in marriage.
Yes, sir.
You go through a divorce, they take your kids, they take your house. They going to lay in the bed that y'all was in. Like, what kind of shit is that? So now you got to go peek in the window. And nigga my bed. That nigga my bed. And the little children traveling around on the floor and shit. You looking at your son crawling. And shit. You know, Spider-Man can crawl. Start crawling out. And you will be, imagine, that's why OJ tapped out.
Yeah, you be mad about that.
OJ tapped the hell out. How you all your money. Just imagine, working hard. You got a nice 5-story house. You got 4 cars. And y'all get them, she decided, I don't want you no more.
Yeah.
And then she kicked you out of the house.
Yeah.
And you got your shoulders shrugged down and you out the house. And then next week, you see Matumbo up in that bitch.
Matumbo.
Big, like, what the
big
hell
ass
is this
African.
big 7-foot nigga up in your house. With a bowl of cereal and shit.
with the Flintstone spoons.
With the Flintstone spoon. And then you look at the bed, looking at your bedroom, the nigga was a big ass laying up in your bed shit.
And when your kid doing that,
and your kid crawling around on the floor. You would be pissed. Tell me you wouldn't be pissed off of that shit.
Nah, you want to you want to set off a nuke, man.
I'm killing everybody.
That's real talk, man. You ain't never lied, man.
But this society is because of these devils.
Never lied about that.
These goddamn devils,
That's
man.
true.
Get Jeremiah the 10, not 10, Isaiah 10:1. Isaiah 10:1.
Oh yeah, righteous decrees. You talking about the unrighteous decrees?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 10:1. Yep.
Yeah, read that.
Oh, you got it. This Isaiah 10:1.
All right.
It says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees."
Yeah, because see, they allow the woman and these young men. That's why they'll get locked up. They'll commit some kind of crime. They'll go in jail and they come out. They'll tell you you can't discipline your child just so they can screw up and go in there so they can discipline their ass. Or go in the military. But you can't discipline your own damn child, man. Go ahead.
Yep. And right grievousness, which they have prescribed.
Yeah, King Ramses II, Pharaoh of Egypt, when Solomon died, not Solomon, Joseph died, he started decreeing unrighteous decrees. And ultimately to kill every firstborn son. That's what the fucking parent parenthood is.
Yep.
And the gun violence.
We ride by that bitch every single week.
They ain't gotta kill you. They're gonna just say everybody let them kill each other. This is why they put so-called blacks in particular communities. Then they flood the drugs. Then they flood the guns. And with a little rap music, that helps it out, right? And they become animals, man. It's a diabolical scheme.
Yes, it is.
You know?
Yes,
it is. Working.
Yes, sir.
They put it in the music.
Yeah.
And then for the women, they got it in the Glorilla or whatever they are.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
They just teach them that, but they're done. They're done. If any, I better not see any of you brothers with a Glorilla looking woman, man. Get out of the camp.
Yeah. Man, I just Harry Potter,
Yeah.
Oh man,
because I mean I can't say that, but you can really get sick like that, man. And HIV and all that shit. Yeah. Syphilis on the rise again. You know, AIDS, syphilis, gonorrhea. And syphilis was an experiment anyway, on a Tuskegee experiment. You heard of that? And what they did, no, they didn't force it on the soldiers, but what they did is they shot the women up with syphilis. They hired some hookers and threw these men in jail and shit, some prisoners. And they let it was an experiment. Yeah. They let the cells open so they could mingle back and forth. You know, Israelites.
Yeah, we're gonna get busy.
I'd have had it.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie to you.
We always.
Hey. They let them eat. Yep. They set them up. You would have got caught up. They put some nice looking woman in the cell. Now they didn't know they was prostitutes or nothing. Okay. They thought they were just women that was locked up.
Right.
I believe they already had it or they shot them with it.
Wow. You about to say something?
Yeah, I'm saying, when you think about it, on a deep scale, because it's curses, right? But the curses got to come through these people.
Yep. Hey, it's devil, man. He's got to pay, man.
Yes, sir.
Get out Jeremiah 32:18. We'll close.
Okay.
Get tired now. That's when I first warm up.
This is Jeremiah 32 and 18. Okay. It says, thou shewest loving kindness unto thousands. That's not it.
Jeremiah 30 and 18.
30.
I believe it's 30 and 18.
What makes Esau worse about it, especially in those court systems, is they got Bibles in them, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They got Bibles in it. Yeah. And then it's called the judiciary system, based off of who? Judah. You know? Judah.
If the Quran had so much power, how come even the president was holding up the Bible? How come they had the Bible in those damn courtrooms? If the Quran had so much power,
right?
How come they didn't use the Quran when that was going on? You know what the hell was that? You know.
Was that I always say, making people a slave through war, finance, and war, finance. There's something else.
You talking about religion?
Religion.
Yeah.
Religion. War, finance, and religion. You know, that's how you make people slaves, man. You know, those holy wars, man, is people overtaking another people, man. You know, that's how it went. You know, how we end up being into Christianity. That's a slave owner religion. Okay?
This is Jeremiah 30 and 16. It says, therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity.
They made us to where we're poor, you know. Mm-hmm. They use money as a weapon against us. Mm-hmm. You know, everything that this man touches is a sword. It's not just the actual gun. You know, they use food as a sword. You know, money is a sword. Our women is a sword. Mm-hmm. You know, everything that he touches is meant to try to kill us, man. It fuck us up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know why your woman can't fully respect you? Because the first thing she saw when she was young is that man's face on the money. Like, she goes, you're supposed to be the king.
Yes, sir. Come on.
Yep. They're gonna be respected like that. Yep. And then our people, the men, they respect their fathers with that money. That's why when you hear a rapper, he's always putting somebody white in there. Yeah, I got that Trump money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They'll never say I got that Denzel cash.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
That is true. That is facts.
If you listen to the lyrics, it's always a goddamn white man.
It is. Rockefeller money.
I got the Rockefeller
money. That's
what
but yeah, that's why the Lord going to put all that stuff on them. He going to cause their money system to fail.
Yeah.
You know, their military might is going to fail. Yeah. All of their council is going to fail. That's right. Because during this time, the New World, the NWO, they're going to be trying to, because it's a plan that they want to go on, but the Lord's going to allow all the council of Egypt to fail, man. Right. They ain't going to know what the hell is hitting them, man.
Yes, sir.
No,
yes, sir.
No NWO has ever succeeded. But there will be a new new order.
It's going to be one.
Yeah. And it's going to succeed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's no
council
against the Most High.
There's
no council against the Most High.
It also says no weapon formed against you shall prosper.
The Lord already said what was going to happen, right? And that's what's going to happen. It's not going to return unto him void, man.
Better know.
That's a check that the Lord can cash. a big dumb fat check, man. You know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And the Lord going to cash that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Sure.
Come back void, man.
Facts.
Like, come on, man. We all got money in our spiritual bank accounts, man.
Facts.
Be out to elect.
Yes, sir.
The Lord, man, come on.
Facts. Fall out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Fall out. Fall out, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I told you it's going to be there.
Yes, sir.
Oh, the woman?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know what you like.
Yeah.
I know you like fresh.
Yeah.
You get excited.
Yeah. It's gonna take me at least 100 years to even just like I'm gonna chill today.
Nah, man, you turned into the Mandingo.
Yeah, boy.
Hey, but look at all the
Give us all of it back too, brother.
even the governments, man. I'm pretty sure that they be having little freak souls.
Of course. Oh, yeah.
You know what? Buying women, bringing them down.
Yeah, they're the ones responsible for that trafficking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
No, they're the ones doing it.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Big
these
time.
elites,
Big
man.
time.
Yes, sir.
Come, the businesses do it.
Yeah.
You know, that's how Magic Johnson that got caught up in those rings and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
You know, what is it, Wilt Chamberlain?
Yeah.
You know, the Lakers was providing them
Yeah.
with the
Magic
women.
Johnson. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You know, that was a business.
Yeah,
That was the
but
Lord's business.
Yeah, because they're wizards, right?
Uh-huh.
But these people said we gotta get ours first. Then you can have all the women you want. Magic Johnson, he's one of those gatekeepers, man. He had to go through the chambers. You know, him, Polite. You see the videos with Polite?
Yeah.
The Egyptian statues on the side. And he walking through, he's sitting like a flame down.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
they got him.
He's Pusha T. Or
Yeah.
to the
Pusha T
thing
from the
with
Clips.
that Lord Nas X.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wearing
Yes, it
shirts
was.
and all that.
Yeah,
They got him too.
Yeah.
With the Catholic Church, right? On that show, The Borgias, they were showing that Pope Alexander was getting those women, man. You know, because they be in the confessionals. Father,
I said,
Yeah.
I have sex with a woman up in there.
Yeah.
I fucked up, Father. Oh, beat me in my chambers.
Got daddy and all that.
He got all of it.
Fucked up, man. It's time to do it.
But yeah,
But they like boys though.
right.
They'll say, "Go bring me a boy."
Right.
We'll straighten it out.
Right.
Dang.
That's how it's going to be, though. Like, not for boys.
No.
Not for no boys. But in the kingdom, when we talk about the Lord's business, you know what I'm saying? We promoting the Lord's business here, right?
Yes, sir.
What did the Lord say to King David when he went off? If you wanted more women, man, I would have gave you more women, bro. That ain't nothing.
But he allowed them to go off.
He allowed them to go off.
But Sheba was there at the right time.
They're at the right time.
David wasn't thinking about no other. He just saw that shit. She had some sticks.
Yeah, man.
She had some sticks. This shit probably erected quick.
Yeah. That thing probably was like a monk like that, boy. That camera, that patch was probably fat, boy. She probably had a
Yeah, he probably looked out the window. Then he probably came around.
Like,
I got to get a closer look at this.
It's probably.
You know damn well we would have did that same.
Yeah.
If this man was strong, think about it. This man was strong enough. He could have got all the women he wanted.
Right.
And he sees something like that. He had to get
Had
back.
to be bad.
How strong would have been in that damn same scenario, man?
Probably with 1.4 seconds, I probably like, hey, Shawty, I'm coming in, all right?
Yeah, man. You
Yeah, man.
in the bed thinking about that?
Yeah.
God damn, what hit that? Yeah, he said the service getting kicked.
Yeah.
And she probably came in all feminine and switching,
Smelling good.
smelling because she just finished bathing.
Uh-huh.
So she was all set up.
Ooh, you probably smelled it coming in the door.
You probably got off quick too.
Yeah.
Abigail, when she came to him, coming to the door. You know, even though the Lord put the ball to down, but she came to him in a certain manner. He was like, damn.
Yeah,
She was trying to switch for real.
Yeah, she came up to him before the ball even died.
Right.
And it kind of, and she came with this humble bowing down to him, so he was already like, damn. Yeah, that excited him.
I was about to kill your husband. And she was like, damn, she was kind of sweet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a little bit of mercy.
That's why we got to pray to the Lord that we don't get caught up in those situations, that adultery and shit like that.
Yes, sir.
And that's why it let so many women be defiled, so we ain't pressing it. If we see the Bathsheba looking like that, we done all seen it. They got, like back then, Bathsheba ain't have no BBLs, no injections.
She was
She
all
was
natural.
natural.
All natural.
that shit had to be like, damn.
It had to be booming. Metro booming.
Metro Boots.
Woo! That bad boy had to be Metro
I'm
booming.
sure it closed up, bro.
Yeah, the Lord got us, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
just gotta keep on enduring to the end. That's all.
Yes, sir.
You know?
Yep.
But yeah, with that, Lord willing, this is edifying. We want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. Okay, and it's a sincere Shalom to all the Akim out here that's doing and pushing this work, the truth and the sincerity. Shalom and Mawaf love of ball.
Shalom, Mawaf, love of all.
Death to Babylon.
That's the Babylon. I can't even laugh no more.